Should be live.
Okay, you can do a recap.
Well, last week we opened to Ash, Julius, Hunk, uh, Ceratop, Ceres, and Icy. All together on a mission on a planet. They were away on training duty and got called there by a distress call. When they got there, there were these weird transformed, like, the people at the settlement had been turned into these transformed fish-like creatures. After fighting through, they met up with Icy at a planet, not a planet, at a temple in the area, where there was ancient flame that she could turn on and off, ancient elven carvings that talked about an apocalyptic prophecy, just spooky things. Afterwards, they went back to base, and they were set to go to a very important dinner with a member of the Arcane Council. On the way, they stopped to ring shop for both Ash and Julius. During this, Julius witnessed and took part in an epic duel between the Domestic Menace and Saint Guillotine himself. Lazuli vanquished the Menace. After getting to the meeting with Master Yen of the Arcane Council, they were interviewed by him, and he decided that they would be joining the future squad called Squad Sigma. Pequod was distraught by this, and in an attempt to distract her, Julius presented her with what he thought was with what he intended to be a promise ring, but through the quick thinking of Lazuli, turned into an engagement ring. And that's where the session ended.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Didn't miss anything?
Nope. Alright then. So, you find yourselves in your bunker, doing what have you. Pequod doing laundry, because she's waifu of the year. She's folding your laundry and she's going through it slowly. And she looks at Julius, she kind of raises an eyebrow and coughs, and she, Julius, do you know what tomorrow is?
I mean, it's the same day it's been for the past 3 years. Yes, I do.
She looks over at Ash. Do you know what tomorrow is, Ash?
Yes, I do, Pequod.
Good. And she keeps folding Julius's and Ash's laundry. She has reminded you every day for the past month.
I'd assume so. Well, I'd already say, in a way, Julius got you a gift that's pretty hard to top. And he looks at her hand.
She looks down at the ring, kind of fidgets it with her thumb, and nods in agreement. And then goes back to folding laundry. As she's doing so, she says, "This is hard to top. However, Julius can top it, I'm sure." And she glares at Julius.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You better. She mumbles that to herself.
Well, I'd hope so. Hate for him to die right about now.
She wouldn't kill me. I just proposed. Why would she?
You do have plot armor there, don't you?
Hopefully, as he looks over at Pequod with a discerning look.
She smirks back at you and looks at Ash and says, "So, Ash, have you any plans for Ceres's ring?"
I do. I have it drawn up. I just need to get to forging it.
You should show it to Commander Integra.
It's a good idea. I'd like to see what she thinks. I have the plans on my wrist computer right now.
Speaking of Commander Integra, there's a knock at the door. You hear Rob's voice say, is the area secure in there?"
Yes.
"You're sure?"
Positive.
You see him push the door open with the front of, the barrel of his assault rifle and peek in the door, look around, and, "Okay, area secure, ma'am," and she comes right to the door. "Boys,
Morning, ma'am.
report to my office immediately." And she walks off. And Rob kind of looks in the room, scans around, and walks back.
Wonder what that was for.
How many times has she come personally to our barracks to tell us that?
Here! Very few. Let's go see what's going on, aye?
Yeah.
Give me 1 sec.
Sure.
As he walks by Rob, to you too.
He kind of shuffles in place. For Nick. So, Nick is back. So you come into Commander Integra's office. As you approach, she has her back to you. No cigarette smoke filling the room today as there usually is. She has her back to you and she says, "Do you care to explain?" And she turns around and in her hands is a small dog. She's holding it like this. This mongrel! She's holding it and Pequod's eyes get huge. Dog is wearing a navy blue EarthGov dog hoodie as well.
Yet. It's a dog, ma'am?
I know that, Julius. She glares at Ash. Ash, what do you have to say for yourself?
Somehow it got muted. That's dumb. I'm not the one who ordered something this time, ma'am.
It was addressed to Julius, however, I know you two are always in cahoots. She looks at Pequod, looks back at Julius, and what does this mean? And she's holding the dog, a puppy, and it's doing the typical husky yelping, barking, and she points on its back, and she turns the dog, and it says, "Gods if this moment" on the back of its hoodie in white letters, to contrast against the navy blue EarthGov blue, and Pequod starts laughing hysterically. And Commander Integra says, "I do not find this funny!"
Oh, would you look at that? Maybe you should just hand the dog over to me, Integra, as he, starts jerking his head over to Pequod.
She hands the dog to you, steps down here. What does this gods if this moment mean?
As he looks over at Ash, looks like he wants to die laughing. It's an inside joke between me and Pequod, man.
Oh. I bet there are a lot of inside things between the two of you. She steps back and begins brushing husky hair off of her overcoat.
Yes, man.
Why did you order a dog, Julius?
You couldn't have kept it a secret for one more day, ma'am?
No, I couldn't. It showed up here, some stupid delivery man dropped it off. Thomas brought it here.
Well, I was hoping for it to be surprised tomorrow, but this is Pequod's birthday present.
Commander Integra, nods and sits down. Pequod is looking at the dog. You have the dog. And she wraps her arm around your waist, squeezing you and the dog.
It also does not have a name, so you'll probably need to do that, honey.
Pequod looks at the dog, cups its little chin, and it's yelping. And she says, "I am horrible at naming things." She looks at Commander Integra, who's shaking her head now, and says, "Ash, do not buy Ceres an animal."
I wasn't intending to, ma'am.
Good. Pequod tries to take the dog from her.
He lets her have it.
She takes her, holds it. The dog definitely takes to her. Oh, it's a boy?
Yeah.
Name. She looks over at Ash, looks back at the hoodie. Any suggestions, Ash?
I'm not And he's gonna get a bit of a shit-eating grin. How about Rocco?
She lifts the dog up in the air, Simba style. It's barking down at her, and she says, I think Rocco's the perfect name. It's a play on my last name, after all. And she looks at Julius and grins.
Julius looks down at his feet and sighs.
Commander Integra, well, I'd hate to break up this lovely moment as she lights a cigarette. I have a mission for you boys and girl. That being said, you now have another mission. That dog is not staying on this base. You can do what you want in your barracks, but there are no animals on my base. So, with that said, she sits up in her chair a little bit. Suppose there's only one option. You either ship the dog off somewhere and Pequod never gets to enjoy her lovely gift, or you take it to Lazarly's bunker, Julius.
So, you're telling me I either die by my fiance's hand or by Lazarus' hand. Okay.
Correct. Now get on the vertibird and get that dog out of here. She points at the door. And then return here for your mission briefing. You have 30 minutes.
Understood, ma'am?
Ash, see to it that that dog does not return to the base. And she wags her finger at you.
I'll do my damnedest, ma'am.
Pequod, big smile on her face, carrying the dog out, going to the vertibird. As you guys leave, Commander Integra, she's a smoker, so she coughs. And as you're leaving, you notice she pulls up a shirtless Julius picture on her wrist computer. But she tries to hide it.
You're very bad at hiding things, ma'am.
Get out, Julius!
Uh-huh.
So you guys get on the vertibird. Pequod's flying with the dog in her lap. The dog has taken exceptionally well to her quickly. Male dogs tend to take well to females very, very quickly. You fly over to Leslie's bunker. Doesn't matter of minutes. You know the code, you get in. And here you are. With the dog and yourself. And the dog is yelping and barking the entire way. It smells food.
Alright. I suppose I should do the talking.
Good luck.
Pequod pets the dog on the head and points to the back of its hoodie and says, Gods of this moment, and hands the dog to Ash.
Alright, Patricia. He's gonna carry it and sit down over here.
What'd you call me?
Oh, nothing.
Patricia. It's Pequod.
Alright.
She comes over with you. Good luck, Julius. He gives him a kiss on the cheek before.
I'll need it.
Certainly would never call you Patricia when Icy's around or anything.
Pequod snarls at you. Leslie is watching the news in the TV room here. She's on the couch, enjoying a cup of ice water, watching the news.
He'll knock just to show respect.
Enter
Hey, Mom.
Julius. She stands up. What are you doing here at this time of day?
Alright. You're probably gonna hate me.
Okay.
So you know dogs?
I love dogs, Julius. He steps closer to you. Suletta has a pack of greyhounds. Every once in a while, she brings them over here. They are the greatest. Do you know what I love most about dogs?
What's that?
That they belong to other people. Suletta brings her dogs here. I get to enjoy them, play with them, and then they leave. And right when she says that, she hears a small husky bark and looks out the door.
Yeah, Julius is wincing at this point. I got a dog.
She looks at you. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
For what purpose?
Well, you know, Pequod's birthday is tomorrow. And she likes dogs, and it made sense.
Leslie puts her hand on your shoulder. So you've brought the dog here to see me. Let's go visit it. She guides you out.
Well, that's not all.
As she comes out, she, Ash, may I? And she picks up the dog from you.
Of course, Leslie.
Pequod with a big smile on her face. What do you mean not all, Julius? This is a husky. And she's poking it and scratching under its
Yeah, his name is Rocco.
Rocco, you say? And she looks at Pequod.
Ash named him.
Good name, Ash. Looks at Ash and smiles. What a pretty little boy.
Oh god. Hey, so like, you know how we're not allowed to keep animals at Raven Rock?
Yes, that's standard operating procedure on any military base, unless a ranger or there are some exceptions, yes.
You know how you like us?
Yes, Julius.
How about we keep the dog here?
She looks at the dog, looks at Julius. No.
Alright, here. Hear me out. I pay for all of its needs. And I stay in the military for as long as Pequod does.
Leslie looks at you. You know that will probably be for the remainder of your life. And Pequod kind of nods.
I know.
At this point, you hear the sound of metal feet hitting the ground. Is that a dog I hear? Young sires, good morning. Can I fix you something for breakfast?
Morning, Blaze. No, thank you. We already had breakfast at Raven Rock.
Look at this wonderful mutt. He grabs him, holds him up in the air. He's a beauty. It's not a mutt, it's a husky, Leslie interrupts. What a beautiful dog. What's his name? Leslie walks over here. Rocco. Blaze starts petting him on the head. You know we have stores of dog food here for Suletta's dog.
Really?
Yes, sir. And the cleanest drinking water in Alaska, most likely.
Ain't that a coincidence?
This bunker would be an excellent house for a dog, wouldn't you say, Major? Leslie, I've always wanted a husky. Blaze brings him over here and starts going through the cabinets with one arm. Blaze, look at the back of its hoodie. Gods, if this moment. Leslie immediately starts laughing and goes over to look. Pequod stands next to you. I think it's working.
Hopefully.
Jokes at my expense normally do.
Blaze comes out with a bowl of dog food, sets it down. The little puppy starts eating. Rocco. We shall keep him here at the bunker. Leslie, yeah. Fine. We'll keep him here at the bunker.
Oh, thank God. Thank you, Mom.
This dog's going to get huge, like this. And Blaze puts his hand up. And Leslie, of all breeds, why a husky? Why?
Well, it's a good pack animal, and Siberian Huskies typically have reddish hair.
Indeed they do. Good pack animal, and it will be good to protect Miss Patricia in your stead. And he pets Rocco on the head as he's eating.
I hear they're good with children as well.
Indeed! Indeed, as Blaze walks over and looks at Pequod. There are no children in the picture yet, are there? And Leslie, oh god.
Not that I'm aware of.
Pequod, no. Leslie, good. This isn't a daycare.
You wouldn't need to take care of our kids.
Blaze, I wouldn't mind. I love children.
As do I. Little one running around wouldn't be that terrible.
Make it 2, as Blaze shrugged. Why not 4? And Leslie, stop giving them ideas, Blaze. Just feed the dog, and then take it for a walk.
At this point, I think Blaze wants Leslie to be the next Gondar.
Leslie laughed. Blaze, oh, I will take him for the walk of walk.
Thank you, Blaze.
I quite enjoy dogs. The dog comes up to Pequod. She picks him up, gives him a little kiss. Well then, are you gentlemen staying for breakfast, lunch, training?
No, that was the first step of our mission today. The commander nearly bit our heads off for the dog being delivered there. We need to head back and get our actual mission.
Leslie smirks. Better have the dog delivered there than here.
True.
True.
Leslie gestures with her hand. All right, I'll see you guys later. Head back to Raven Rock. And she looks down at the dog And the dog comes over and starts rubbing up against her. And Blaze, I think he wants you to take him for a walk. She groans, and I'll go get the leash. Goes to get a dog leash from the...
You know,
And he follows her the whole way.
Knowing what I know about those ones, might be a good idea to stock up on lint brushes.
Indeed, sire, indeed. Blaze shakes your hand. Well, best of luck on your mission. Return here in one piece, and follows Leslie and Rocco off.
I will try.
On your way back, Pequod, huge grin on her face. The past couple, ever since the Master Yen, she's been depressed, even though she was proposed to. She's big smile on her face now. Animals tend to do that to people. You find yourself back at Raven Rock. You come into Commander Zintegra's office. She looks you over. Good. No dog. Let's proceed, shall we?
Yes, ma'am.
So, simple mission. Puts her hand up. That being said, simple does not mean complicated. Steps down here. There's more to this. She wags her finger back and forth, then meets the eye. She looks right at Ash when she says that. Take it from a former SIS operative. You'll be going to the planet Peden. It's far, far out in the Ripper system. It's an oceanscape planet for the most part. There's some independent colonies set up there. There's also 2 secret EarthGov weapons testing bases there. High Command would like the 2 of you, plus Pequod, to help escort a prototype weapon from point A to point B on a ship. That being said, she steps up here. As I said, there's more to this than meets the eye. She types on her computer. They're requesting backup to help guard the ship. There's a detachment of EarthGov Marines that will be on the ship. The fact that HighCom is requesting backup from 2 very talented individuals and a very talented pilot says to me that they know something's up. Wouldn't you say, Ash?
Agreed, ma'am. I would assume, based off that they're under the impression that the ship will be attacked at some point, be it by insurgents or someone else. UIR, maybe? Something?
UIR would be my guess, especially out in the Ripper system. Your mission's simple. You'll hook up with Captain Chelsea Shaw. She's a Marine. You'll follow her orders to the letter. Yes?
Understood, ma'am.
Take a pair of plain clothing. Say plain clothed operation.
Okay.
Jeans, shirt, whatever you need. Now, hang.
Armaments are allowed, though, of course, correct?
Correct. Anything that you can have on you that people can't see. So I would leave behind... I know you have one of Agent Hunk's large assault weapons, yet? I would leave those behind. Pistols. Julius, your scythe should be good since it's collapsible, though you don't need it, I think. Either way, get prepared. Your pistols should be wonderful, Ash. The shotgun, I don't know.
I doubt the shotgun will fit. Maybe I could stretch the TMP, but that's about it.
Pequod speaks up. So I'm just flying them there and waiting for them to finish? Commander Integra, negative. You'll be flying them there and following the boat the whole way. From upper atmosphere. Pequod kind of, what? And Commander Integra, yes, that is what High Command wants. From the upper atmosphere, you could detect radar signatures quicker than the boat. It's not a military vessel. It's a civilian vessel. Simple mission, so they say. You're starting at point A, a dock in an independent colony, and you're getting this, whatever prototype weapon it is, to an underwater facility owned by EarthGov on the planet. The journey should take less than 3 days.
Understood.
Be on guard.
That's what I was thinking, ma'am. This feels like they're expecting something big if they want her on Overwatch the entire way.
Indeed, they've requested Pequod's vertibird be fitted with a heavy armament of weapons, and Thomas has seen fit to do so correctly. Don't worry, I've checked them myself. Also, you have enlarged fuel tanks, Pequod, so you can sustain flight for 4 days. You'll have to kick into autopilot to get sleep. Pequod looks very confused and looks at Julia. And Commander Integra, I don't like this any more than the three of you. Be on guard, return safely. Especially you! She makes a fist and shakes it at Ash.
Understood, ma'am. As always, I'll do my damnedest to make sure they get back.
Ash, if you'd like to take your shotgun or another weapon, perhaps see Sergeant Hamer. He may be able to retrofit you with something that can be hidden on your person.
Understood, ma'am. I will do so.
She walks up, scans you all one more time, return with her hand out in an open position. 1 to Julius, 1 to Pequod, 1 to Ash. Return safely. Blinks, puts her hand on Julius's shoulder, dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
And Pequod kind of, okay, I'm going to go get in my jumpsuit, and goes to get into her jumpsuit and prepare.
Alright, I'm gonna head down to the Master Sergeant. If you need anything, just call Julius.
Alright, I'll go wait by the vertebrate.
As you walk up, Master Sergeant Hamer's in the chair, sleeping.
Good day, Master Sergeant.
Oh, Ash! What can I do for you?
I'm being sent on a plain clothes operation, so I was hoping you could retrofit my shotgun to be something I could hide underneath the clothing.
Oh, undercover op. Right, what kind of shotgun do you have?
Well, he's gonna get it. It is a MaxTech M10 MaxTech Benelli.
Undercover suggests you probably want a silencer, yeah? Or no?
I'd say yes.
Alright. Instead of ruining that one, let me give you another one. Is that okay?
Perfectly
How much
fine.
time do you got before you leave? I mean, I could retrofit that one, but once we cut the barrel off and fuse a silencer on, there's no going back.
We don't have very long before we leave.
Yeah, then hold up, Ash. I'll get you a new one. And
Thank
he
you,
runs down here, chugging his whole way down in his armor. Comes back. Here you go. And he has a sawed-off version of your shotgun. Only has an integrated silencer. The range is 20 less points, regardless of what ammunition you're going to use, though.
Okay, understood. That would mean slugs effectively have a range of on-self. Good to know.
Yep.
Or, I mean, what's it called? Buckshot. Alright.
Yep.
That should work.
Deer shot.
Should work in case anyone gets right in front of me. Thank you.
Do you need ammo?
I could use some slugs if that's possible.
I gotcha. Reaches under the desk, hands you a box of 10. And here, give this to Julius. He hands you a box of throwing stars. Shrieking.
Thank you, sir. Alright. Well, I think that's all we can do at the moment. Let me check. I'm going to check with the doctor and then make my way back to them.
There's the throwing stars for Julius. 2d6, range 50 feet. If he limit breaks or something, he can just fucking throw it as far as he wants, as far as I'm concerned. Any good luck to you, Ash. And salute.
Salutes back. Thank you, sir. Make his way into the doctor's office. Dr. Contry?
She's doing some paperwork. Yes, sir.
It's good to see you. I just was wondering if you had any more healing darts, possibly.
How many do you have on you currently?
One on me, one on Julius. Last I checked.
No problem. 1 sec. Goes rummaging around, comes out with a glowing green box. One for each of you.
Thank you, ma'am. A savior as always.
She winked.
He's gonna wink back. Well, alright. These are gonna come in handy. Undercover mission and all.
Undercover. Good luck, Ash.
Thank you, I'm gonna need it, because if I don't make it, I think the commander will resurrect me and kill me again.
Dr. Contry crosses her arms and laughs. I think she will, Ash. Indeed, I think she will. And she sits back down and continues her paperwork. Pequod comes up to Julius in her nice, tight, black, now black, pilot suit, and she goes right up to Julius and grabs his hand. I don't like this.
I don't either, but I'm sure we'll be fine. We got you on Overwatch.
This doesn't seem like something headhunters should do.
It probably isn't just a headhunter thing anymore.
I guess. Maybe the council. She squeezes your hand tightly. You can move up to the vertebrate, Ash, if you...
Yep. This is for you, Julius.
Apparently there's a predator somewhere around Raven Rock watching you guys.
Sorry, phone went off. That's
I like it.
Yeah, it's one of my friend's text message alerts. Here you go, and he's gonna hand you one of the healing darts.
Yeah. How many throwing stars did I get?
5.
Alright. You two ready?
Pequod fixes some buckles on her shoulder, ready as we'll ever be. I guess we have to make it there with as much haste as possible. She's looking over the vertebrate. Gigantic fuel tanks now reside on it. The big machine gun's been replaced with a huge, what looks like Gatling plasma gun. It glows purple. Huge missile pods on the side, and she just shakes her head. They even changed the afterburner.
What the fuck are we transporting?
Pequod pokes. Now the afterburners on the wings of the vertebrate, or whatever those propellers, are huge. This thing will be much faster in space now.
That's good. May be helpful in the future if they let us keep it. But, this is scaring me. They just sent us randomly to obtain plans that had been stolen for prototype, what's the word? Railguns. Just 2 headhunters randomly. This armament? We're transporting something scary.
You guys get on the vertibird, you take off. Pequod's looking over all of her new weapons system, the radar system upgraded, deep space communications upgraded, everything. She looks stunned as she's looking at all of it. They did this all in less than 48 hours?
I guess so. That again is frightening because the amount of funds that must have taken.
Well, I hope I get to keep this vertibird now. And she smiles.
I hope so too.
She turns around. She is worried. But she grabs Julius and pulls him in close and gives him the biggest, wettest kiss in the world. And says, looking him in the eye, "Thank you for my dog.
You're very welcome, sweetie.
You are the greatest." And she plants another one as something's beeping on the vertebrate. She's ignoring it.
Julius is staying in the kiss as he gestures over for Ash to check whatever it is out.
He's gonna check.
Now so many years have passed now. Tech isn't foreign to you. You can easily tell where it's coming from, and you push the button, and on the computer readout that I like to imagine is in between the co-pilot and pilot seat, and you see a message from High Command. It says, "Incoming message from HighCom."
I'm sorry to break up the moment, lovebirds. We got a message from High Command.
Pequod pulls herself off Julius and looks at the message, and it should just be a text message. It's not a video call. She hits some buttons on the computer read, and you see, "Proceed to Peden with haste, with haste, with haste." And Pequod kind of and gulp. That's disturbing.
High Command wanting us to move that quick. I don't like this.
I don't either.
Alright, he's gonna sit back down. Keep safe, keep on guard, no unnecessary risks.
Understood. Pequod sits down and kicks the new afterburners. These things are so strong and heavy, the whole ship, boom, as you fly.
I understand that you were told to keep watch on the ship, but if it comes down to a moment of you possibly wrecking, get out of there. I'll take the heat for that if we do get in trouble for it.
Can do, Ash. She nods her head. She starts playing with some of the radar system. These are stealth radar systems.
Stealth.
Only things like longsword saber fighters have this.
And that's starting to get me worried because that doesn't sound like something the UIR would have.
Pequod, not that I've ever heard. The UIR has tech, but they're way below EarthGov. Unless they've stolen something.
Possibly, but the only person I can think of who. Well, person group, sorry, that I could think of that has tech that can rival EarthGov in my experience is Max Tech, and I doubt they would try something quite that brazen.
Pequod typing on the computer, acknowledging the message from HighCom. Or the BB Corps. You ever heard of them?
Yeah.
That's true.
They do, but they buy from Max Tech too. So
And who would pay them enough to do this?
Pequod sits back in the chair. Well, we don't know they're involved. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe whatever's on the ship is just that important.
Maybe, but I'd assume that even if that's the case, I'd assume it's a little of both.
Perhaps as you guys make your way, you know, time passes. You make your way to the planet. Pequod follows the course. You find yourself right outside the ship. Now imagine these guys are in plain clothing, and their AC does reflect their plain clothing. You see a bunch of EarthGov Marines in plain clothing, and there's a woman sitting up on a big shipping container, and she's like directing it onto the ship as it's riding. And she looks down. She saw the vertibird, land, and she looks down at you and waves, "Ahoy!"
Ahoy?
She jumps down in front of Pequod and Julius and stands up. Who are you guys?
Private Asherion Valorius, ma'am. We were sent by the headhunters.
Private Valor... Headhunt... Huh?
You weren't told?
No. I mean... Let's go on the ship and talk, yeah? Leads you up on the ship with Pequod. Pequod's talking to her. Pequod was a Marine. She was in the Marine Corps. As you walk up on the ship, she snaps her fingers and imagine a futuristic like boarding ramp, and it folds up. And she headhunters all the way out here. Who sent you guys?
Well, the commander sent us, but apparently it was a request from High Command, ma'am.
Well, I won't scoff at any more help. That vertibird you landed in, I suppose that's gonna join us? And Pequod nod.
Orders were overwatch from high atmosphere, keeping an eye out for anything.
Captain Shaw puts her hand on her cheek. For the most part, we've been kept in the dark. What do you know about what we're doing here?
Transporting something, ma'am? That's about all we've been told as well. I don't like it.
Transporting something, indeed. I know what we're transporting. I suppose you guys should see what it is. Follow me.
Yes, ma'am.
Now she takes you here. She's taking you through the whole ship, giving you the whole tour. And as she's giving you the tour, she confirmed you guys were supposed to be here. And she kind of shakes her head. This is the bridge, and there's plainclothes EarthGov Marines that greet you with hand gestures and nods as you walk by. This is the bridge of the ship. I've never been kept in the dark this much on something.
That's comforting.
Pequod looks around, walks up to the Marine and starts talking, and he's like showing her his armor and stuff like that. Or his weapon he has under and stuff like that. You see they're armed. All the Marines are armed from this interaction, but they're in plain clothing just like you guys. She walks over here. Well, it's a 4-day trek. You all walk together. From here to you know where we're going, right?
From one testing ground to another is as far as I understood, ma'am.
Correct. This is the bridge. Keep following me as she's just showing you around so you understand the layout of the ship. It's not a huge ship. Living quarters. So anywhere you guys are walking now, of course, like you can be out here, you can be in there. She takes you here. I suppose you're going to be on Overwatch the whole time, yeah? And Pequod nods. So you guys can just find a bunk here. It's only 4 days. You'll just have to bunk with the Marines. Go down here. She points here. These steps lead to the ship's engine room. And she's walking you down here. And she's just showing you around. There's a Marine apparently fall. Points to these steps, and these steps lead down to the big party.
Okay. What is that?
She walks up here. You guys can follow her if you choose. Pequod follows her with her jaw agape. And this thing is just sitting here, and these Marines they have their arms crossed talking. This is the bottom of the ship, which should be storage. She turns around. Note the fact that the bottom of the ship here has been retrofitted to house, and she points with a thumb over her shoulder, whatever this is, and it's huge bipedal weapon.
I don't know what to say about that. It looks like a mobile suit, but nothing like any I've ever seen.
She walks up to it, and it's more akin to a mobile armor from the Calamity Wars years and years ago. Our guess is it's based off mobile armor tech, which would explain why it's so important to EarthGov. Either way, our mission, and apparently yours, is to make sure it gets to the underwater testing facility. It's called the Pinta, the testing facility, as soon as possible. Though the fact that you're here, and she kind of puts her hand on her hip, makes me worry.
Agreed. The fact that we're here, and that they retrofitted our vertibird to be a flying artillery buster, does not breed confidence. I just can't think of anyone who'd be brazen enough to try and steal something like this.
She looks up at it. They can't really steal it. It can't be turned on unless they have the code. And she turns around and points to her head. Only I have the code. That being said, she walks up to you guys. I'm not getting in that thing. In fact, I don't want to be anywhere near it, as one of this Marine chuckles over here.
Does it use an Epion system?
She looks back at you. I don't think so. I think it's just all user control. At least from what little I know from looking in the cockpit. I haven't sat in the cockpit. If you'd like, she puts her arms up. Feel free.
I might take a look at it, just to see what we're dealing with.
Pequod steps back and grabs Julius's wrist. Be careful, Ash.
I will. He's gonna go up and take a look around it.
One of the Marines comes up to you. The cockpit's in the nose. He points up right here. It's in the nose. You'll need this to get up there, and he hands you a grappling gun.
He's gonna shoot it up there and climb up.
He walks. You climb up. Cockpit opens for you, and it doesn't look like the mobile suit you sat at. Suletta's mobile suit, the Ariel. It looks more user control. Way more controls, way more joysticks, way more buttons. There's no helmet like the Epion system has. Stuff like that.
Okay. And descend back down. Well, and that explains why they're so protective over it. If what I'm guessing is correct, this thing looks like it could be a go-between between heavy mechs and mobile suits. Something to fill that void. And if so, this is a terrifying weapon indeed.
Pequod looks at it, and you hear her mumbling to herself, mobile suits are not scary. That thing is horrifying looking. And it is, generally speaking, way more intimidating looking than any mobile suit frame.
Mobile suits seemed, in my opinion, to be designed to be as much symbols of hope as they were weapons. This is a weapon of war through and through.
Captain Shaw looks up at it. I don't even know what it's armed with. We wouldn't know unless we turn it on, and I have no interest in turning it on.
Agreed. I pray that we don't need to.
She looks at Julius, looks at Pequod. Well, we need to get underway. Looks at her wrist computer. If you'd be so kind, Pequod. And Pequod gives Julius a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. Captain Shaw comes over to add, I prefer to have you guys on the top deck.
Understood, ma'am.
You take guard shifts, 12-hour shifts. Sleep 12, guard duty 12. If it's raining, go inside, stay on the bridge. Otherwise, be on guard. If anything happens, here's my frequency. And she sends her radio frequency to your wrist computer.
He's gonna make sure to save it, I suppose. Yes, ma'am. If you need us for anything else, just tell us. Happy to help.
Good luck and stay safe, guys.
We'll try, and Pequod, remember. Be safe, no unnecessary risks.
She nods, gives Julius one more kiss, and runs off. Captain Shaw kind of looks one more look at this large, scary thing and shakes her head, and walks off as well.
Well, guess that answers why we're here.
That it does.
You know we're probably getting attacked at some point, right?
100%. A lot of people would want this kind of thing.
Okay. Keep an eye out. Be safe, you know, a radio frequency. Anything you tell me.
Yeah, the usual thing.
As you go back up to the top of the ship, you see Pequod running to the vertibird. She blows Julius one more kiss before disappearing from sight. And the Marines kind of shuffle around, and the ship starts slowly taking off.
Alright. You want port?
Sure.
I'll hand a starboard then. Gonna just settle in for taking watch.
Sure. Move wherever you'd like. So you're up on a... Just describe where you are. How about that?
Well, I'd assume this is like a stack of shipping containers.
Yes.
And he's gonna settle in behind the sandbags. You know, sit down, keep an eye out, and just settle in, keeping watch. Looking around the deck and the ocean around him.
Where's Julie?
Julius is on top of some shipping containers, so he has a good view, 180 degrees out the starboard side. He makes sure that when it's nighttime, there's no lights, so he can't be seen, but he can still see everything else.
Okie doke. Time passes. Night comes in. You see the beautiful sunset you see on the ocean at times. If you've ever been out in the ocean, a couple miles out. This Marine comes up to you. You hear him clanging up, the side of the shipping container. He walks up behind you. So what's your story?
Headhunter. Joined the military, it's almost 4 years ago now. That's about it. Been working there. Julius and I have been together for the whole time and work well together.
He puts his hand out. Jameson's the name.
Ash, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to have a headhunter on board. Never got to work with one. He pulls out a small, what looks like it holds two long cylindrical things. And you care for one? And he has a cigar.
Smoking's not normally my thing, but at this point I don't see why not. Sure.
He hands it to you, and he pulls out a small, what looks like guillotine device. And you gotta nip the end off. Here, let me show you how to do it.
Okay.
He nips the end off for you. You want to get as straight as cut as possible. Hands you the cigar back and hands you a lighter. Go ahead. Don't put the flame directly to the cigar. Turn it in your mouth and blow out and puff in.
Okay, he's gonna do what he said.
Man, you get your first big hit of nicotine.
Oh my.
Shakes your system and relax. First one's always the worst, but it'll mellow you out. Take the edge off.
That it may. Tried cigarettes when I was a bit younger. Ugh, nearly vomited.
He kind of sits down in one of the chairs on the shipping crate with you. Cigarettes are, whatever. Cigars are a bit more, and he puts it in his mouth way in the back. Sophisticated.
I'd say so. So what's your story?
Ah, not too dissimilar from yours. Wasn't the best kind of student. Shuffles in his chair a little bit. Joined the Marine Corps. Be honest, I joined because the armor. And I don't even get to wear it this mission.
That's fair. At least you got a good job and career out of it.
Ah, pretty cool. Pretty cool job. Get to go to Gateway Station. Ever been?
I've been in the docking bay, but never on the station itself.
Really?
Don't
Huh.
operate off of planet very much.
Well, headhunters usually don't. To be honest, I didn't even think the headhunters were around anymore.
Well, we are. Although I'd say, from what I've gathered at this point, we're more of a farm club for the more prominent organizations.
He kicks back in his chair, puts his feet up on some boxes. Ain't no shame in that.
Not at all. I mean, not an insult to be headhunted by some of the other groups in EarthGov.
As this is going on, this guy comes up behind Julius. Hey, you want something to eat?
Julius has to stop himself from trying to sweep the guys out under him.
He's got a plate of beans and sausages and some toast. You want something to eat, buddy?
Yeah, sure.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Made these myself. I got a fire right over here. Want to sit with me?
You want to sit up here?
Sure. At this time, you see him, he goes down to get his plate and he pours some more accelerant on the fire, making a big... He has a little fire pit. He's not setting the deck on fire. A big fire that's giving away everybody's position on your side of the deck. And he, oh, look at that. It's nice and warm. Are you sure you don't want to come sit down here?
Yeah, I'm sure. Put that out.
Why?
You'll give away our position.
Ah, come on, buddy. He walks back up to you, climbing the ladder with his plate. This is gonna be an easy one.
Yeah, easy. That's why they sent the vertibird.
Verta who?
Yeah, God. He starts eating the food.
How are the beans?
You're pretty good. You're pretty good cook, man.
That's some interesting hair you got there.
Yeah, red. What's interesting about it?
He grabs a sausage, takes a bite out of it with his finger, with his hands. You know, earlier, before we took off, I saw a fine piece of ass running across the ship. Do you know who that was? Is she one of your headhunters? This little blonde thing, kind of like Bob haircut. A fine piece of ass.
Julius picks up his fork and starts spinning it around with his fingers. So you know what a fiance is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's mine.
Oh. He kind of... Oh. Here, have another sausage. He puts one of his on your plate.
Yeah.
How'd you pull that?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think I necessarily deserve her, but apparently she sees something in me.
How come?
I treat her exactly how my mother did not treat me and my other girlfriend that I used to have.
He presents a flask from his shirt or his jacket, like a leather jacket he's wearing. Your mother didn't treat you well, and he, with the flask to you, kind of hands it to you.
He hands it back. Not taking a drink. No, she did not.
Well, you treat her exactly like your mother didn't. That means you treat her good. That's why you pulled that little fine. I mean, nice girl. He has to stop himself.
Yes, she's a very nice girl.
Yes, she is. And he kind of looks up at the sky. She's a pilot. What was her deal?
I mean, her other family members were in the military. It's sort of a tradition, I suppose. So she decided to join the Marines, became a pilot.
Huh, not bad. Gotta say, I'm a little jealous.
Why is that?
When I go back to Gateway, I only pull fat chicks. And he kind of shakes his head.
I mean, hey, if that's all you can pull. It's not a bad thing.
I'd say it's a bad thing, buddy, as he eats some beans.
Yeah. What's your name, man?
Ah! Tim!
Oh, nice to meet you, Tim.
Shakes your hand, and he wants some candy?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Meanwhile, over here, Ash is enjoying his cigar. It's hitting you now, Ash. It's good. You play with the smoke in your mouth. Jameson's watching you do it, so what do you think?
Quite like it. Might
Pretty
make
good,
this a
huh?
They are. Might make this a thing from time to time. Seems like a nice way to relax.
He puts his hand out. Only get the good stuff. These, and he turns his cigar, and all cigars, any good cigar, has a stick. Well, they're not stickers, but a band on it near the end. You know what they are. I'm sure you've seen. And it says "The Boss" is the brand name. These are very expensive. That's why they're so good. Cheap cigars, you might as well just grab some leaves, light them on fire, throw them in your mouth.
Good to know.
You can get these on Gateway, buddy.
Good to know. I think I'll stick with these then. And thanks for sharing one with me if they're that expensive.
Ah, no problem. I'm just glad you're here.
Why's that?
Something off about this one. Maybe I'm anxiety-filled, but I don't like this mission. Marines guarding a ship with a gigantic, freaky robot underneath. And then they send headhunters and a pilot with a crazy vertibird.
Agreed. Just, keep an eye out, keep safe. Maybe it's all in our heads, but at this point, it's hope in one hand, right?
And shit in the other.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Captain Shaw come over the radio. She's telling the Marines to change shift. All right, buddy. Well, enjoy the cigar. I'm going for a nap.
You got it? Have a good night, Jameson.
So I'm not going to make his token disappear. I'm just going to change their positions around the board a little bit. This guy hears that and well, I'll catch you later, buddy. It was great to meet you, and sorry about calling your fiance a fine piece of ass.
No, I agree. She is.
He goes off. Another Marine comes out, and you see him looking at the fire. Who lit this?
Could you put that out for me, please?
What fucking moron lit this? And he pulls out a canteen, and he's pouring his canteen on the fire. Looks up at Julius. What are you doing up there?
Keeping watch.
Oh, you see anything?
Water.
You got any coffee?
On me? No.
Ugh. This guy, it's the same Marine. He's walking around. You hear him. He comes up to you, asks, Ash, any coffee?
Not on me at the moment, sorry.
God damn it. Get this whole ship and not a coffee maker on the ship. I guess MRE coffee. He radios over to Julius. Hey, headhunter, you want a cup of coffee? It's late. You've been on deck for a while. It's like 2, 3 in the morning.
Julius rubs his eyes a bit. Yeah, that might be good.
Reconnoiter over here, then.
Alright.
Well, it's going to be shitty coffee, but do you have any way to boil water that's not a gigantic fire that gives away the ship's position?
I mean, I can make a small fire.
Hell yeah, brother. You see him pull out a couple, the military MRE cups, and he's pouring some shitty coffee, freeze-dried Mr. Coffee into the cup. Like I said, it's not going to be great, but better than nothing.
Yeah, I get that a lot when I'm with the headhunters. And as he snaps and lights his hand up.
He pours some water in. You boil the cups. He hands one to Ash, one to you, and then he takes it.
Thank you.
There's a cold wind sweeping across the deck, and Ash, your hair's blowing in all different directions because the wind is, blowing, north, south, east, west. It changes every once in a while because you're out in the middle of the ocean. And he kind of looks around and yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, totally. So fun watching out here waiting for something to happen.
I don't think anything's gonna happen.
One can pray, right?
Another Marine comes out for the next shift. He picks up a basketball. There are basketball hoops on the deck. It was some type of old commercial cruise liner that was retrofitted to haul stuff, and now EarthGov has it for this mission in particular, and he starts shooting basketball.
I don't know.
Thank you for the coffee as he heads back.
Oh, no problem.
I don't know. This just feels off.
Maybe.
Call it a gut feeling, but I don't think they'd put all this additional security if they didn't expect something to happen.
You could be right, or they're just over-preparing. Either way.
I hope you're right. But... oh, pays to always expect the worst, right?
He takes a sip of his coffee. Captain Shaw said we have a vertibird pilot on Overwatch with some type of advanced radar system. I think we'll be okay.
Hope so. And she
He
is
points up to
always-
the sky. And, I mean, if she's way up there, she'll pick up anything coming near this ship from the sky.
Yeah, from the sky. This thing doesn't have the best of radar on it, I'd assume.
No, not really. I think most of the tech is gutted in this ship. Except down on the bottom deck, if you've been down there where the beast, or whatever that thing is.
Aye. Sonar, I'm guessing, isn't a big one either.
No. Sonar system's busted.
Joy. Well, then there's a nice gaping hole.
Gaping hole.
I don't assume that the vertibird is going to be able to see under the water very well.
He kind of stops taking a sip of his coffee. I don't think anybody's gonna attack from underwater. You'd have to have a submarine, or be crazy.
Aye, but if somebody were to attack, which is a possibility given the fact that we're all here, then they would probably be, 1, well informed to know that this exists, 2, well equipped, and 3, probably a little bit crazy. So I wouldn't rule it out.
At this point, Julius, you see this Marine kind of walk by you atop the shipping crate, jump down, and he's playing basketball with the other Marine. You hear, their boots squeaking on the deck of the ship, and they're shooting basketball, stuff like that. This Marine says, oh, maybe you're right. Either way, we got you guys here, we should be okay. ICOM didn't send you for nothing.
I'd hope so. Just worried.
He looks at you, puts his hand kind of towards you, and moves your coat. Pistols, huh?
Yes, sir.
Bit of a gunslinger, are you?
I'd like to say so. Always preferred pistols and single-shot weapons to automatic.
What
Feels
kind of
cooler.
pistols are they?
Colts.
Oh, nice.
They are nice. Nicer than what I learned on, that's for damn sure.
Mind if I sit?
Go ahead. Name's Ash. What's yours?
Gotta look that up.
You good?
Amar. Not Amir. Amar.
Pleasure to meet you, Amar.
Likewise.
We got nothing to do but talk. What's your story?
Career military man. Been in the Marines for, at this point, 45 years.
Well, that's damn impressive. Getting through
What?
the entire time unscathed.
Wanted to be a doctor, believe it or not. But, grunt life's okay. Good pay, they don't expect too much out of you.
There are worse things out there. Unemployed is far worse than employed here.
Damn straight. At this time, roll a perception check on Julia.
Here's the damn skill.
So, Julius, I don't know if it would mean anything to you, but you don't hear the sound of the Marines, their boots squeaking off the deck of the ship. You don't hear the ball bouncing around. You don't hear the swish of the net. Ash isn't paying attention because he's in conversation with this guy. You notice it, Ash doesn't.
Julius,
And neither does that guy.
Julius, tries to snap next to his ears to see if he can hear.
You don't hear anything. They're not moving around. You don't hear any talking or anything like that.
He starts looking around and yells out Ash.
Risk to the communicator. Aye, what's up?
Do you hear anything?
Gonna take a second listen. He doesn't, I'm assuming?
Nope.
No. He's gonna get up and take a look down there off the edge of the shipping containers.
You see a silhouette. You can't tell what it was. But these Marines are lying on the ground. You can't tell if they're dead or not. And the ball's resting just like this between them. You also catch a glimpse right here, of this Marine being thrown overboard. No scream when he got thrown overboard. And this guy disappeared.
Shite. He's gonna immediately get on the communicator to Shaw.
This Marine comes down with you. What the hell happened here? And you hear a... And he falls over dead with a splatter of blood across your cheek from a silenced weapon.
Shite. He's gonna move behind here and radio Shaw. Ma'am, come in, please.
You get static in return.
Fuck.
Ash, report what's happening.
Someone on board, cloaked. Just killed a few of the guards.
You hear another... But you don't see this guy up here. But you can assume somebody got killed.
I'd recommend getting inside and blocking off the path to the machine now.
This Marine comes over here. Hey, you got a smoke by chance?
No, but shh. There's someone on board. Someone who shouldn't be here, so quiet if you don't want him to kill you.
Someone on board?
And Ash is gonna try and listen around to see if he hears anything.
Roll up a purr.
As he's doing that, Julius is going to gesture to go inside.
So Ash, with the perception of 20, there's no stealth tech going on. They're just fast. And it's night. Very fast. I'll reveal them all to you. They're playing off the shadows. Soaked in water, most of them. Perhaps Ash's suspicions were right. And they're patrolling around slowly and creepily around the top of the deck, and you can infer they're probably surrounding you three.
Alright, Julius. Be quiet. We're surrounded. Take them out one at a time if it comes to that.
Alright, which one are we going for first?
Try to avoid them at all costs and get inside undetected. If it comes down to it, attack, but try not to be seen first and foremost. And Ash is gonna roll stealth to try and hide.
Okay, if you guys want to roll it up. This Marine looks up at you. What are you talking about? What's going? And you see his head get taken off. You can infer it was from this guy who's moving in. You hear, now that they're close, you can hear the sounds of their footsteps, and they're moving in, looking around.
Can we get a good look at him?
Yeah.
Is it just stealth suit, or can we tell like BB Core or Max Tech UIR?
So this is what they would look like in Fire and Ash. You've never quite seen anything quite... They kind of look like BB Core, definitely. But BB Core is all women. And you can hear them kind of talking. It's male voices. You hear one of them, they surround them.
They're pinched. Alright. He's gonna slowly reach for the pistols as he sits in the darkness. I say attack first. And there's one over there. Take him.
Affirmative.
Ready? 3, 2, go.
Roll it up.
He's gonna pull out the shotgun and aim at this gentleman.
Okay.
Making sure I'm right with the range on the slugs. I should be within range for the slugs. Good. Hopefully. first attack.
Kills him.
Alright. Second attack. Let's find it.
Ping, which one?
Both of those were directed at this gentleman. Or the second one.
The first attack, yeah, the first attack killed that. So this guy's dead.
And then he's just gonna slink back into the shadows because that's his turn.
Alright, this guy's gonna move over here, and he's like looking around at the dead body of his buddies who's here. Julius can go. You guys can go in whatever order you want. Until I deem them as they get a line of sight on you, Metal Gear style, they're not gonna roll initiative. They're looking for you. They know your general location.
I rolled 15 damage on the returning Karambit knife.
How do you kill him? With it? You want it in the neck, in the back? How you want?
Up the jaw.
Dead.
I'm just gonna run around over here, in between these crates.
Gonna quietly get up here and hide behind the sandbags. And look down.
You see this guy here, and this guy here in the middle of the basketball like little court they had set up.
Alright, I'm gonna pull the shotgun out, aim down at this gentleman, and fire.
Okay.
Okay.
Hits and kills with a 10 kills.
Gonna slide here and take a shot at that guy. Oof. That misses. And then use movement to slink back to where he was and crouch down behind the sandbags and try to hide.
It missed this guy, right?
Yep.
I put the character sheet down for a second. Okay. Well, he slammed. You hear his body slam up against the shipping crate. Contact! Contact!
Careful. We might be seen.
This guy moves in, scanning for Julius, looking around.
As soon as he gets right there, so Julius will wait until he moves a little past him.
Okay, he will. Because they're trying to pinch Ash.
He's gonna move behind him and hit him with the Karambit knife.
From the shadow. Ash, you hear this guy climbing the crate.
Ash is gonna go over, look down right at the guy, shotgun to his face, and pull the trigger.
Roll it up. Blow his head off.
Bonus action to reload. Alright. Take a very careful... Again, scan the ship, listen, look for any more. So there.
You don't see any more with a 17. You don't see any more on the deck, the upper deck, but you do see movement up in the cabin, the captain's cab, the bridge.
Yeah, he's gonna snap to Julius. Alright, we're going inside. Move quietly, move carefully.
Your boss.
Gonna make their way towards the bridge.
Okay.
Should I roll stealth again?
Yeah, both.
Oof.
So, you make your way to the bridge, and you're out here, like looking in the window. Now you can go around this way, get in here. You can go this way if you want to go deeper in the. She's showing you it's the stairs. You got to follow the stairs down, and you get back, kind of thing. But when you get up here, you're looking in the window, big windows like on any ship deck bridge kind of thing. You see these 4 Marines. And they are bound, on their knees. There's a familiar man right here. And he's playing with some of the console controls on the bridge of the ship. There's these heavily armed dudes, right there. dudes. You see them all, and this one walks up, hits this Marine. Remember, they're plainclothes. Hits him with the butt of his rifle in the side of the head, and he looks back at this guy, who you would definitely remember, given what he did. I don't think you could forget a guy like that. And he says, "What do we do with them?" And Tewaz looks up, and he says, "Just throw them overboard. We have a timetable to keep." And he's typing onto the ship, and you see he brandishes a small device, and he ducks under the desk, and he comes back up from the desk. "Throw them overboard, disperse down to the lower levels of the ship. Move." "Yes, sir." And these Marines, they're still alive, get thrown overboard by this guy. And he, ah ha ha, or some, stupid laugh.
Shit.
Most of these guys actually go below deck, with the exception of these three dudes. And Tewaz looks around, scans out the window, and he goes below deck as well.
Fuck. Okay. Things just got bad. He's gonna try and radio to Pequod.
Okay.
Pequod, are you there?
You hear her talking, but it's garbled. Static.
Shit, I think we're being jammed. Alright, if you can hear this, see if you can get through to base or somebody for more help. Tewaz is down here. Things are going poorly. Be careful. Don't do something stupid. And he's gonna turn it off. Alright. We're gonna have to be careful here. Pick these guys off if we have to. We need to get down to the lower decks.
Yeah. I say we take him out.
Agreed. One at a time.
One of them has better line of sight on the other. Is the guy who threw them overboard, is that guy's back turned?
Yes.
One of them definitely has better line of sight on the other, so we take out that one first.
I was thinking we could draw them out.
Yeah, because then we would have a fight on our hands. 2 on 2.
Not if we're careful enough. Draw them out. The second we get a shot, take them down.
It's a risky play.
Would you prefer to take them out one at a time and have a higher risk of being alerted?
Yeah, I mean, you need to call.
Fuck. We'll go your way. Alright. Who do you want to take out first?
That one.
Alright. He's gonna pull his pistols out. You take him out. I'll get a good shot at our friend here. And then we'll do our damnedest to kill him because he'll probably be alerted. Right?
Alright.
Which way is this guy facing again?
This one?
Bottom.
I imagine he's just guarding the stairs, looking this way. Or this way. He's here just to guard the stairs, guarding Tewaz's 6, as they would say.
Okay. Ash is going to slowly make his way down to here. Pistols out. Whenever you're ready.
Alright. Three, 2, 1.
Alright. He's gonna take his first shot with advantage on this guy.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Dings off of his helmet. What the fuck?
Second shot immediately after, again with advantage.
Ding off the helmet, right through where the ding spins over dead. This guy, and walks over here.
Third shot at him. I'll roll it normally, even though I shouldn't.
hits him in the neck. You see him grab his neck through that ballistic, like almost EOD suit. He looks stunned that something went through the suit, and he falls over to his knees, gasping. This guy's laughing at the guys he just threw over. How does he die?
He doesn't kill him. He just stabs him through the spinal cord and pushes him over.
Oh, damn!
Oh, shit.
All right, I like that. All right, so this guy is he's still alive, but he's like holding his side of his neck.
Gonna run over, gun to his head, fire again.
You blow his head off.
Julius is gonna run over to where Tewaz was putting something under the desk.
There is under the desk. You've been doing this for long enough. There's a huge wad of what looks like plastic explosives under the desk. And you can see just basic training and basic, if you've applied yourself, there looks like there's a tumbler device on it. Meaning that when it's armed, if somebody tries to move it,
Is it armed?
it's armed. You can all the red lights are on and there's a beeping. Beep, beep. And there's a timer and it reads 25 minutes.
Ash is gonna take a look. This doesn't look like something within his wheelhouse to disarm, right?
You can try, but if you fail, the outcome is death.
I don't think I can do
It's a very high tinkering.
Yeah. I don't think I can work with that. Shit.
24 minutes.
Let's go. We gotta be fast. Downstairs, try and see what's going on.
Stop talking, start moving.
Yep. Stealth check again.
Yep. So you guys are okay. You come out here. And as you come out here, you see an EarthGov Marine plane. He gets riddled with bullets, falls through, the glass window down here or something. He goes through the wall, whatever. And he's splattered out on the ground. And you can enter wherever you'd like, but you do hear the sounds of gunfire inside. Silenced gunfire.
Okay. Reload the pit. Make sure to reload on the way down. Alright. You know the drill. We have to get through these guys.
I'd like to imagine somehow you can just see in. Because you're on the outside and maybe there's port windows or something you can see through. So you see another Marine. He comes blasting out of his barracks, got blasted by some type of shotgun. Another one of these big guys puts the shotgun to his head, blows his head clean off. And there's another in the corner here being beaten to death.
Shite. Alright. Pistols out. You know what to do. I'll try to take the far ones. You take the close ones. There's a wall here, I'd assume.
Yep.
Right. He's gonna make his way to a spot where he's got nice line of sight of this guy. And wait for Julius.
Which way is this guy facing?
I like to imagine they're going into the rooms and making sure there's nobody here. So he's looking in this room. This guy here just cleared this room. So he's going down to this one. And this guy's beating this poor dude. So I like to think this guy's in the room, actually.
Here's what we're gonna do. This one, we have nothing to cover. These two are distracted, the ones in the rooms. They're clearing out. You take care of this one, take care of that one. Then they'll come out because they heard something. I take care of this one who just came out. You, that one.
Alright. On your mark. Yeah, she's gonna quietly slink in.
Okay.
Julius, a bit of Metal Gear here. Julius is going to do a slight knock on the wall right next to him, so to get this guy's attention.
Alright, that's a good idea. Ping where you're knocking exactly. You imagine?
Yeah, right about here.
Okay. So, this door, it's a good plan, but sometimes this door opens and this guy comes out. Did you hear that? And this guy, yeah, something out there? And they're looking out the porthole windows and they don't see you.
Go or wait?
We got another bogey here.
Can you take both of them?
Probably can if you take care of that one.
Good. I'm gonna start. 3, 2, 1. First shot. At that guy.
Wrong take. Wrong leg. Right in the back of the head.
Alright. Second shot at him.
At this one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Falls over dead.
Roll a bit closer and hold my last attack in case I see anybody.
Okay. So these two are looking out the window. Well, probably something on deck. Hit the side of the ship. Maybe a bird or something. This guy kind of looks out the window and this guy puts himself over here.
Is it an open window or completely closed?
I like to imagine that they're like square, round, and I like to imagine they don't open, but there's doors all over you can get inside. Like on any ship, you know, there's doors you have to turn the handle, and so there's a door I like to imagine here.
Alright. Julius is gonna knock one more time.
There it is again! Motherfucker. And you see the cylindrical handle of the door start to turn on your side. He's opening the door.
He's gonna wait for him to come through.
He comes through, and so he has the door open, and you're on the other side.
Alright. Am I good to attack?
Yeah, whatever you want to do. How do you kill him?
As soon as he opens the door, straight through the neck.
He falls over off the side of the ship. No scream, because in the neck. And this guy, why'd you open the door?
Julius is going to just again.
What the hell is that? He comes out the same way.
He does it again.
And he's dead.
Idiot.
This guy comes out here. Area secure.
Shot taken. Oof.
Head blown clean off.
Good. And that's a point of grit back too. Move up,
18 minutes. If you're keeping a count in your head, it's somewhere around 18 or 19 minutes to
Alright,
go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Roll stealth.
Yep. So, should be down here. There's nobody down here at all. Just one Marine with his head from the neck down clear blown off. And you can probably guess who did that. But there's no enemies that at least you can see down here. You're right here, over his butt.
Quick scan of the area. Did they sabotage the engines? Anything like that?
If you take a look at the engine, they'd most definitely scuttled the engine systems. Yes, like ripped it apart. It looks like Tewaz, because his big ass heavy revolver, just walked up and unloaded a cylinder into it.
Back.
Huge gaping holes in it. Huge. Oil spilling everywhere. Gasoline, the smell of gas, heavy in the air now.
Fuck. This is bad.
No enemies, though. Just move on.
Move on quietly. Another stealth check, I'd assume.
No, not for this. You don't need it. The room's too big. So you're right down here. And there's these creeper dudes. And the Marines that were down here, they have them detained. Captain Shaw's nowhere to be seen, though. And these guys are spreading out. And they have these Marines detained in front of the beast.
Fuck, that's more than I can handle.
Same here. If we take him out, you're in for a fight. Unless we try to split them off.
That's alright. Where do you want to go?
You can move anywhere you want with a without a stealth check. Room's too big unless you go into the room
Okay.
where it is.
I'm gonna try and move here. And I'm gonna roll looking for Tewas.
You don't see him.
Okay.
I'm going to start walking around down here.
Okay.
And looking for the captain.
You don't have to roll anything, even with a 7. You don't see her, but you hear her, being that she's the only female, with the exception of Pequod, that you've seen on the ship. You hear a yelp, like a yelp of pain. And she, Ash, I'm not sure the way this is set up. I'm just going to say Julius maybe moves so he can get a line of sight. Ash, you definitely see her. She comes flying down from the rafters, landing here. On her back, she hits the ground, blood comes out of her mouth, and you see Tewa, almost like Big Boss, or I'm sorry, Solidus Snake. He slides up. This time he's wearing like a big overcoat, like a drape thing, like Solidus Snake wears in Metal Gear Solid 2. He slides up to her and he leaves behind a purple trail of energy behind him, which does not look natural. And he kicks her right in the stomach. She lets out another yelp. We can let Julius move somewhere if he wants to get a line of sight. What are you doing, Ash?
He's staying there for now.
Once. Gotta delete something. Perfect. Okay, so kicks her in the stomach. More blood comes out of her mouth. These guys kind of move out of his way. The purple energy trail he's left behind sliding across the ground is burned and scorched into the ground, and it's hot purple. He reaches down, grabs her by the neck, throws her out here. This guy moves over here, grabs her by she has like a ponytail or something, her hat's off, grabs her by the ponytail, yanks her up. Tewas turns to her, pulls out the revolver. The code. Blood coming out of her mouth. She doesn't shake her. She doesn't even acknowledge it. And he said, okay, we can do it the hard way or the easy way. Give me the code. Or he walks right behind these guys. And he taps this Marine, who's like a dwarf, he's smaller than the other, in the head with his revolver. She looks at him, he looks at her. These Marines have their armor on. It looks like they got armor on in a hurry. They figured out, oh, something's wrong, and they had some armor on the ship, but didn't help them. Not in time. So they look just like their tokens, just varying size and species and stuff like that. Tewas says, remove his helmet. This guy removes the helmet. Tewas gestures to this guy, bring her closer. He does. Tewas puts the revolver to his head. It's a dwarf. And he says, look into his eyes. Give me the code, or you'll be looking at his eyes on the ground. She doesn't say anything. And a splatters the Marine's head. Walks over to this guy, remove his helmet. He does. the code. She doesn't do anything. It's a tabaxi. Cat ears splattered all over the deck of the ship. We can keep going all day. I'm sure there's more Marines on this ship. Remove the helmet. This guy removes the helmet, and she stop! Has the revolver to his head. Need the code now. XY21 Alpha. Tewaz looks at her, gestures to one of the guys, go up into the cockpit. He climbs up, and this thing starts powering up. The eyes light up on it, and the code is correct. Tewaz looks at her, thank you, and blows her head clean off, and then looks at the Marines, get rid of them. And he walks over towards the beast as they kill these guys.
God. We can't take this. And we're running out of time.
You see this thing lowered to the ground. This guy gets out of it. Tewaz gets into the cockpit. It lowers up. Tewaz gets in and he comes over his speaker and he says, exfil from the ship immediate. And then you see the beast, the prototype weapon. The eyes light up and interesting. I smell a rat. Or two, in fact. And you're hearing almost like a sonar sound going off from this thing.
Shit.
These guys all run around, start aiming their guns, looking for you guys.
I'd say get out of here.
This thing, boom, steps up behind them. You hear the sound. Came down from here. You hear the sound of more footsteps coming down the stairs, indicating perhaps you're now trapped.
Oh, shit.
You hear over the speaker emitting from the prototype weapon, reveal yourselves.
Doesn't look like we have much choice. Die hiding or dying out in the air, right?
They're that bad that you can't really find us? Are you really even soldiers?
They're just standing in front of the prototype weapon, guarding the entrance. Waiting.
Oh, what, Dick? No sarcastic comment on mine?
You hear a chuckle from the speaker system. That voice sounds vaguely familiar. Not Marines. Marines don't have that much bravado.
I'd assume it would. Nice toy.
These guys come out here. They definitely get a line of sight on Julius. Don't quite see Ash yet, but they're going to. You see from the eyes of this thing, it starts to scan like a red scanning thing that's revealing your position. So if you might as well come out or they're going to come get you.
Alright. Walks out, hands up. Alright.
Pull Julius up here. Tewaz says, I've seen you somewhere before.
I'd say you have.
Watertown! And these guys kind of, huh? This thing moves a little closer. I remember you two from Watertown.
Well, you have a good memory. How good for you.
Always
Still banging that fine piece of ass.
Yeah, I am.
I bet you are.
Always a pleasure to leave a mark on someone.
I wouldn't say you left too big of a mark. I like what you've done with your hair, faggot.
Look who's talking as he walks up.
What are you two even doing here? You're not Marine.
No, but big scary weapon being delivered. And they probably thought a possibility of attack. Why do you think we're here?
The big machine rears up its mouth. It has, just like Ray, two bottom mandibles and then the top one that doesn't move. Its mouth open. I'm gonna enjoy watching you die. both of you, and it looks down at Julius.
Big man and a big weapon, not able to do it face to face, eh?
Take them to the top of the ship. And this guy kind of hits Julius in the chest with his rifle.
Alright. Let's go.
They guide you up through the ship. There's more of these dudes. You see them all the way. As you're going up, more of them are around the ship. And here you are at the top of the ship in the basketball court. These guys surround you. This one says on your knees, and he hits Julius in the back of the neck with his rifle.
He gets down on his knees. I'll have you know, you are special. I only do this for my fiance.
This one hits Ash in the back of the leg. On your knees, dog.
What a joke. You only act like that if you're afraid to die.
There is a huge laser beam that shoots out from below deck, and busting through the bottom of the deck is the prototype weapon itself. Coming over the speakers, Tewaz says, "Clear the area." And the mouth opens on this thing, and you see almost a swirling vortex of energy. These guys all move out of the way. They're moving like as far as fuck away as possible. And you see from the eyes that are lit up on this thing, and Tewaz says, "Hasta la vista, headhunters." As the vortex grows stronger and stronger, and right as, whether you believe in a god or something, you're accepting your fate, you hear over another loudspeaker, "Julius!" It's Pequod about 200 feet above the ship in her vertibird.
Oh no.
Julius is gonna yell out even if she can't hear him.
And she fires with some of her new toys. She fires her Hydra Gatling laser at this. At the same time, an excellent pilot. She fires her upgraded cannon on the front nose of the vertibird, and this thing is no-selling everything she's shooting it with. So
Shit.
she keeps firing again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and it's no-selling everything she's doing to.
Just Pequod, get out of here.
The prototype EarthGov prototype weapon, you see the head rear up, and it looks at her, and over the speaker you hear Pequod scream, and instead of hitting you guys with it, it hits the vertibird, and you see the vertibird go into a tailspin, and she's screaming over the speaker. He crashes somewhere into the ocean. Tewaz says, "Oh, I suppose that was your dear one, yes." Slams down onto the ship tilts over. You hear him say, "Get off the ship." These guys start disappearing. Tewaz looks down at both of you. "I'm gonna let you live, kid, longer than you like. Have fun fishing your bitch out of the ocean." And the prototype dives into the ocean as the ship starts to rapidly sink around you. And Pequod's vertibird is this direction, way off in the it's like 200 feet away from the ship. You see it in the it's starting to sink underwater.
Yeah, gonna pull that way.
Living rooms.
All right, you're gonna jump off the ship.
You go, get her.
He's like double dashing his way towards him.
If you're keeping count in your head, there's about 30 seconds before the ship blows.
There is, I guess, no lifeboat.
Nope.
All right.
I mean, there may be, but if you want to try,
No. Jumps off the ship.
Okay. So Julius is limit breaking. You jump off the ship. As you're swimming away, the ship explodes. be right. And you see the tail of the vertibird is the only thing sticking up from the water, and it's rapidly sinking.
Swim as quick as he can. I'm guessing it's his normal movement speed.
Yeah.
That's as far as Ash can get.
Let me see here.
Dash, I guess.
Julius is flying underwater. It's 80 feet. 160. He makes it.
So you make it to the vertibird, you dive underwater, and you can see her in the cockpit. There's blood in the cockpit, water in the cockpit. You can get through the front of the vertibird, but she's strapped in, and you're having trouble because she's multiple straps in these things because they go fast. You're having trouble underwater unhooking her and latching her. She does not look great, mind you.
He's just gonna start cutting.
Ash, what are you doing?
He's gonna swim up to, well, up to them and then down and try and help.
You get under, and as you notice, she's got shrapnel in her, bleeding everywhere. It's not looking good.
He's gonna pull his survival knife out and help cut her loose.
You start cutting her loose. Julius, you're doing... What are you doing? You're just trying to pull her out?
He's cutting the straps too.
Okay.
And as soon as he can, he's gonna pull her out and fly her up.
You pull her out. Ash, you pull her out. I'll move the vertibird. And you see... Delete it. We lost Ash's token, but it's not that big of a deal.
I can put it back down.
Put it down, yeah. You have some help getting her out, because the 4 doofuses that got thrown off earlier were here helping you. So they came down with you. They saw the ship explode. Julius, you got her. She's in dire straits, and these 4 doofuses are underwater with you, and they're like giving you the thumbs up, Ash, to surf it.
He's gonna surface, and he's gonna immediately pull out one of his healing vials and put it into her.
Well, she's up in the air with Julius.
Oh, that's right, he can.
He's gonna start shooting her with his nanotech guns.
Okay, do it. Alright, she's still unconscious and bleeding. You surface with the Marine. This Marine grabs you by the shoulder. Are you alright?
I'm fine. Is she okay?
She's bleeding.
Again,
Bleeding out.
he's gonna toss him up. Both of his. Use them on her now.
The blood is covering Julius's wet body.
And Julius at this point is having extreme trouble. He's basically having a panic attack at this point, both because of bad memories and she's dying.
You're not sure if she's even breathing. This Marine looks up at her. Is that trauma? Is that a trauma case? This guy, oh fuck. Listen, come on. Hey, kid, flying. Fly that way. And he points this way. He says, we have a life raft set up. Had one for an emergency in my pocket. That way, that way, that way.
He flies.
Go.
This guy grabs you and helps you, Ash. Come on, and they're swimming you over to the crappiest life raft in the world. It was a pocket to go. They help you board the raft. Imagine it's, more futuristic, but at the same time, it's a crappy one that they had on them. Kind of like the one Sasha had almost a couple missions ago. And this guy immediately starts putting gloves on, even though his hands are wet. And this guy stands out over here with that. This guy pulls out a med kit. This is gonna be fucking ugly.
Any help needed?
Do you have any more of those nano guns?
He's gonna give his last one.
No, inject it into her neck.
He's gonna do it.
You do it, and you see them start working quickly. And this guy here says, we are lucky they threw us overboard, and she is way more lucky, because this guy, and he points at him, John here is our platoon's trauma surgeon. And he, quiet! And he just starts working on her, and the raft is going. It's very terrible conditions to be trying something like this.
Ash is gonna sit with Julius. It's alright. She's gonna be okay. She'll be fine. I trust these men.
Julius is gonna push Ash off. Not off the raft, just like
That would be great.
You have any more nano healing items?
uh,
I forgot to roll that. Let me roll it. I threw you mine, so you should have had 2.
yeah, I had 2 more.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
are you
you-
using?
If you've got them, use them! As this guy is
He's
trying to stably work on her in the raft in the ocean.
Ash will take it from Julius and use that last one on her.
Light! Light! As this guy's holding up a strobe flare over Pequod.
I'd assume Ash would have something like that on the shotgun.
Yeah.
He's gonna use that as a light for them. Walk over.
Scan now! This guy, the trauma surgeon. This guy scans her. Her heart rate's low. She might go, oh no. And this guy is working frantically. I don't think. Oh, fuck. And you see him trying his best, but. I mean, he's trying.
You have anything else, Julius?
Julius is just gonna walk over and shine a light. That's as best as he can do.
This guy starts tearing off pieces of his shirt, wrapping her wounds on her legs. This guy burns his hand, pulling shrapnel out of her thigh. God, fuck! Throws it in the water.
Anything we can do to help? Anything at all?
Stop the bleeding! Pick a wound, moron!
Julius takes off his shirt, scarf, whatever he has, and just starts tying it around wounds.
The trauma surgeon takes off her scarf and hands it to Ash.
Do the same thing. Would cauterizing any of them help?
Yes.
Alright, he's gonna pull his pistol out and dump the magazine into the air to heat it up as much as he can.
Good thing she's unconscious, as this guy pulls out what looks like a little torch, but it's used to cauterize wounds and starts trying. She has lost a lot of blood.
He's gonna use the hot pistol barrel to try and cauterize one.
Who the hell is this?
It's my fucking wife!
Trauma surgeon looks at you and looks back down at her. I'm trying my best.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
You're doing fine. It's alright. Should be okay.
Salt water and all these wounds.
Reload and do the same thing again. Trying to cauterize any he can as well. I'll mark that ammo down.
Huge gaping wound in Pequod's stomach. Any help? And the trauma surgeon hits Julius in the chest with his fist.
You've got fire, Julius. Come on.
He puts his hand on her stomach and starts lighting it up.
This guy looks shocked. Oh, that's not what okay! And the raft is bobbing back and forth, back and forth. This guy scans her again. We need to stop whatever bleeding there is. The trauma surgeon looks up at you, Juliet. We have her stabilized, but no promises. And we need to stop the rest of the bleeding. If you'd be so kind. Points at her thigh, her arm, her shoulder. What? She's your wife, but who is she? Why is she even here?
She's a pilot. She was on Overwatch.
Jesus Christ. As the trauma surgeon sticks a big needle in her neck.
Julius gets to work, cauterizing the other wounds.
Goes into his pouch on his back. I wasn't allowed to bring most of my equipment. I think we've done all I can do.
Goddamn.
This guy, after you cauterize her, no more bleeding. The trauma surgeon steps back. There could be internal bleeding. It's hard to tell.
Alright.
Julius at this point is gonna sit down next to her and hold her. I'm not gonna let anyone touch you.
He's gonna sit next. Ash is gonna sit next to him. Alright. It's alright. She's stabilized for now. When we don't check in, they'll come looking for us.
You need to get away from me right now.
I'm not gonna do that.
Ash, get away from me.
He's gonna look right at him. You're not gonna hurt me. I'm not afraid of you.
You know those thermal blankets, survival blankets? This guy has one, and he hands it to Ash and walks away.
He's gonna put it over Julius and Pequod.
You need to go.
Not gonna do that. Not leaving you, brother.
Don't call me that.
Hey. It's alright. He's gonna sit down. You're gonna be alright, little sister.
He's closed. He's out like a light.
We're all gonna be okay. Alright?
Happen again, Ash.
Hasn't happened yet.
Happen again.
She's alive. That's what matters.
Maybe I'm just bad luck.
Well, maybe I am. She's fine. Everything will be alright. We're gonna get back there. We're gonna get there safe. We're gonna have a birthday. Everything will be good. When I make a promise, I follow through. You and her are getting there alive, even if it costs me my life.
At this point, Ash knows him well enough to see that Julius is just losing all sense of reality.
He's gonna kind of grab Julius's chin and turn him to him. This is hard, I know. But you've got to be strong for her. Alright? For her. And he's gonna kind of slap him in the side of the face to try and jog him into it. For her. She needs you to be stable. Be the man I know you are.
When you slap him, he headbutts you.
Now there's Julius.
No way, Davy.
You are fine. She is fine. It's alright.
I probably could have saved her. Faster.
No, you couldn't have.
No, I could have.
There is nothing that could have been done there. You
I
would
could have told her to just go. I told her to fire, man. I should have. Just.
You think she would have listened? You think
Yes.
No. He's gonna chuckle. Pequod does what she wants. I told her not to do anything stupid, and she did.
She probably didn't hear you over the
I told
James.
her that before we left. She is a headstrong girl. There is not a force on heaven or earth that could have stopped her from doing what she did. It was a catch-22, Julius. The fact that we are alive means that we've already beaten the odds. You want to blame someone? Blame Tewaz, and blame EarthGov for not sending enough support.
He stops responding to you and just pulls her closer.
Ash is gonna put his hand on her head. It's alright. You're gonna be okay.
You see this Marine back here, the trauma surgeon guy, he's on the radio. He's tapping an earwig he had in. Hi, Com, this is Whiskey Foxtrot. Come in, over. I have a critical case. And he's, what the f? And he gets pissed and chucks the earwig into the ocean. And this guy, I think something took out our electronics. Our computers are working, but radio, I don't know. And they're all tapping. And you can probably infer it had something to do with, like, the screech Ray let out before it jumped into the ocean.
Ash is gonna check his wrist computer.
Radios are out. You can still scan things. Can't pull up the ENET or the network.
Fuck. She's a smart girl. She probably radioed for help first, I would hope.
This guy kind of sits down. God damn it. Puts his hand over his head. He's got Pequod's blood all over his face now. Jesus Christ.
Ash is gonna get up and just sit there, repeatedly trying to get something on his wrist computer over the night. Every once in a while trying.
Now, sun comes up. Julia's still holding Pequod. It's about noon. Sun's bearing down pretty hard. This Marine, alright. Well, pulls out an MRE. This guy does the same. This guy does the same. This guy does the same. We have to make these 4 MREs last for... And this guy, 4 days. 8 days overdue. I guess we can expect rescue in 9 days?
Shit. What are her chances? Quietly, so Julius doesn't hear.
The trauma surgeon is splashing water on his face to try and get Pequod's blood off of it. If she stays like this, probably okay. I mean, what can I say? I don't know. She probably has an infection. If there's internal bleeding, she's dead within the hour, most likely. Not to sound harsh, but this is not the ideal conditions to be treating somebody, though. If she had internal bleeding, I think we'd know by now.
Okay. So at very least, it's looking, all things considered, as positive as it can.
Yeah, for her sake. She's gonna need food and more water than us. So we have to ration out to her.
Give her my share.
This Marine, yeah, he's just here, and he sets his MRE down. We can ration water. Is there any way we can boil water? And this guy kind of is holding a stove he had that is like, drenched, and I can't. And he drops it into the ocean.
Julius can.
Julius snaps and lights his hand. Just put the water over that.
They start collecting water in their little MRE cups and setting it in front of Julius. This guy sits down. What the hell was that?
That was Tewas.
Ooh.
Bounty hunter. Prick. One of Gondar's.
I don't know. I don't know anything about a Gondar.
He's a kid of the head of the Bounty Hunters Guild.
Oh, lucky us.
Ruthless and violent.
That wasn't a bounty hunter mission, was it?
No, there's no chance in hell that the Guild would sanction something like that against EarthGov.
The trauma surgeon speaks up. Yeah, no. I mean, the Bounty Hunter Guild isn't privy to classified information.
And I don't think they were UIR. They would have had some type of markings. This is something else.
Trauma surgeon speaks up. When she wakes up, she's gonna need the food. She needs the nutrients. Give the food to her. We'll survive off water, and I have some of these, and he has really crappy rice cake bars, plain, and I have these. We gotta make he has 5 of them. We gotta make these last for... it's not even worth speculating.
How fast is the ship moving?
There's no ship.
Or
The raft?
Yeah, the raft.
You're just wafting in the ocean.
We have rope.
This Marine, yeah!
Good. If need be, he's gonna look down into the water and see if he can see anything moving.
No, you don't.
If need be, I can try getting fish as well. I'd assume there are some.
This guy hands you his rope.
Gonna lash it to himself. Alright.
We have stores, buddy. There's no point fishing now. We have the rice cakes. When we get down to 1, you can go fishing. It's not a good idea to get yourself wet on the ocean. And with night coming in a few hours.
Fair enough. Something to, distract.
Yeah. Distract. And he goes over here and sits down and puts his head back and looks up at the sun. This guy comes over here, sits down, time passes. It's hard to keep track of time. Even the clocks on your computers are out. Nighttime turns to daytime. Nighttime turns to day. Pequod wakes up. Middle of the night, sometime around night 3, you hear her gasp.
What?
The trauma surgeon, what? And he wakes up. He's like hunched in a ball, sleeping.
She awake?
She violently starts coughing.
He sets her up.
And when you do, she keeps coughing. And the trauma surgeon, oh God.
He gets some water out and you need to drink.
She takes a drink. She's out of it. Dazed, confused. She takes a drink and it all comes back up with blood. And the trauma surgeon, God, fuck!
What's wrong?
I don't know. Blockage in the stomach, internal bleeding. I don't know, kid. I don't have the tools to do my fucking job.
It's alright. It's okay. Hi. He's gonna crouch down. Hey, little sister, you doing alright?
Listen to me. He walks over in front of her. We have to knock her out. She can't be awake. If she's awake, moving around, coughing, it's only going to make whatever's going on inside of her worse. He pulls out one more big needle. May I?
Fine.
Do it.
She starts crying, sticks it in her neck, and she zonks right out. And he throws the needle into the ocean and sits down right in front of her and just starts rubbing his chin. Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Julius looks up at everyone. It's sad. And he forces a smile. It's gonna be okay. We've been through worse situations.
The trauma surgeon pats you on the shoulder. Yes, I agree. And he goes and he sits off and he looks off into the distance.
Walks over. She'll be alright. Sits there and again trying to raise something.
More time passes. Ash, you're counting sunrise, sunsets. As Julius, you're just clutching her.
He's clutching her, making sure she's like comfortable, keeping the sun off of her. Anything he can do, really.
Her breathing is faint, but still there. More time passes, Ash. You count the sunrise, sunset, 4 more days. The rice cakes grow thin. The fact that she's been knocked out, she needs a stimulant to wake her up. The Marines start rationing out the rations, and she's not going to wake up without a stimulant at this point. It's the only option, and you're running out of food. You have no food left, and there are... you don't just jump in the water and find fish. That's not how it works. So there are no... This isn't Gallia. There are no fish in the ocean. In the deep ocean, that's not how it works.
No, it's fair. I assumed it wouldn't work that way, but he's desperate.
I mean, I would be too. But there's nothing. Breaking the surface of the water is going to scare him away. And what doesn't get scared away, you don't want to go after.
Shit.
Julius looks up at the sky. Are there any birds?
Nope. Just the sun beating down. Poor Pequod.
Trying again to raise something. Knowing it won't work, but trying.
Another couple days pass. Your training with Leslie definitely helps you. These Marines are starting to pass out in and out of consciousness because of lack of food. Water's good, but lack of food's going to hit you, no matter how strong you are. You guys, you're able to, withstand much longer than them, but you're very weak. Julius, you can't even clutch her anymore. It's been about 10 days. At least you can guess, Ash.
Yeah.
Julius is gonna actually stand up and start walking around and hitting people awake.
They wake up and, I'm still here. This guy hears you, one of the guys talking, and he looks around and boom, zonks back out. The raft is starting to take on water.
We. I think, I can. I can always just. I don't know.
It's okay. Just sit down. It's okay. They'll find us. She'll be okay. We're gonna get out of this. All of us.
And you've been feeding her water, you know. She's sleeping, so she can take it down. She didn't die.
I take it they like double check their supplies like 10 times.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
like, are we sure we don't have any like flares or anything?
This guy's snoring. This guy's just passed out again. This guy curled up in a ball. The trauma surgeon. We have nothing left.
Alright.
Gonna take the silencer off of his pistols. I can make a loud noise. That's about it.
It uses my energy, but I can charge Key Blast.
That'll be a last resort. I'll fire off the pistol first. Don't want to weaken anyone, right?
Oh, it's fine. I've been weaker.
The trauma surgeon. Key blast. Easier to see from the sky. He leans back and closes his eyes. I'm just going to close my eyes for a minute.
Do it. He's gonna walk over and make sure that they stay breathing.
They are, but they're passed out.
Alright. As Julius stumbles back. Okay. I feel like Julius has not accepted like any food at all. And he is extremely weak. As he raises his hand up. Alright. Don't fail me now, Lazuli. And charge Key Blast.
Okay.
And then he faints.
You fire it off. You faint. Ash, you watch him faint. Pequod lying there.
He's gonna lay Pequod next to, or lay him next to Pequod and just sit at their heads. Alright. It's gonna be alright. We're gonna get out of this. It's okay. Stand on both their heads, looking for anything.
Night rolls in, Ash. You're the only one still mostly conscious. Your horrendous upbringing coming back to assist you. You can tolerate a lot. But you're passing in and out of consciousness. You see a bright light, Ash. And in your mind, you think you see glowing green eyes. And to you, it looks like an angel. And there's a gloved hand reaching out. And that's all you can really see. Do you take the hand?
He's gonna take it at this point.
You don't really know what's going on. You pass out at. Julius, you don't see any of this. You're passed out. The Marines are fucking passed the fuck out. You don't know how much time passed. You hear Julius, just you, Julius, you hear a faint voice say, "You alright, Chief?" As you smell a very sharp, disgusting smell of a smelling salt waking you up on a ship, and Icy standing over you.
Julius wakes up and throws the weakest punch he ever has.
She catches your hand. "Are you alright, Chief?"
He looks over at Pequod. Is she alright?
She's okay. She's stabilized. Plus, I've got a med bot on the ship that'll take care of her from here.
Okay. And very out of character for Julius, he lays his head on Icy's shoulder and starts to cry.
She pats your head and cups your head in her arms, and it's okay.
He sits back up. Alright. We don't tell anyone I just did that, right?
Understood. You notice you've got IV drips in you, and she points to them. You need to keep these in, yeah?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna go wake up Ash. She comes over, Ash. You smell a horrible smell. You come to with her standing over you, the glowing green eye. Welcome back to the world of the living.
Shoot awake, reach for his gun until he sees her. Thank the gods. You're a sight for sore eyes, kiddo.
Likewise, she kind of steps back, looks at Pequod, walks over to her, puts her hand on her thigh. What happened?
They were transporting some big mech. We got overrun by a bunch of... I don't know what they were, mercenaries, insurgents, whatever, led by Tewaz. He managed to get in the mech. She tried to fight, and he blasted her out of the sky before sinking the ship.
Much like Thomas, robot comes in the room. She stands out of the way, lets the robot do its work on Pequod. Icy sits down and crosses her arms and her leg, and she... Tewaz?
Not mercenary. Bounty hunter. One of Gondar's kids, from what I gather.
Jeez. She shakes her head. EarthGov had the whole 5th Fleet looking for you guys. You're 12 days overdue now. I was in the area. I heard that you guys went missing. Decided to look for myself.
Well, thank God you did. I don't know how much longer I could have lasted.
Judging by your bio readouts, not long.
Is she gonna be okay?
She looks at the robot, and at this time, the trauma surgeon staggers in. He has his gloves on. Finally! Out of the way, robot! Pushes the robot out of the way. I can begin my work. Robot, wheel these two out of the room. And the robot wheels you guys, your beds, out of the room. And Icy follows. And the Marines, you see the other Marines around the ship as well. They're, awake and moving. And Icy, that'll be all, thank you. And the robot goes away. And she sits down, reaches into a chest, and plops a bag of burgers onto Julius's chest. I figured you'd need these.
Thank you.
She snaps her fingers, milkshake, and a vanilla milkshake lands right next to Ash.
Thank you, and he's gonna drink.
She puts her hand out. You will share those burgers with Julius, yeah?
Of course.
Or with Ash, I mean.
I'd hope.
He could have them.
Eat.
You need to eat too. And she looks at Ash and nods at him. You need to eat too. And she points at Julius.
He's gonna put one on Julius's lap. Eat. If not for yourself, and he's gonna motion towards where Pequod is. Do it for her.
You really like that line.
It works.
Icy pulls out another bag of hamburgers, and I'll leave this one in here. She goes into the other room. Comes back out, crosses her arms, and looks at you guys. So, exactly what happened? Details. I get it, Tewaz, but I don't know who Tewaz is.
They wouldn't have been able to get very much footage of it, I would assume.
Up until Pequod's vertibird went down.
Okay, so they have footage of that.
Yeah.
He's gonna show. We were on watch. Quiet, highly trained men went through and killed many of the Marines. We stealthed our way down, killing them one by one, making our way towards where the thing was. They had rigged the ship to blow. He's gonna go down. Walk through there. We got down to where it was, and, well, he got the codes for it from Shaw, and then killed her. Powered that thing up, and then got us to the lip and was gonna kill us until she showed up.
She watches up until the vertibird gets blown up and stops watching. What is that? And she rewinds and pauses it on the prototype.
That's what we were transporting. Some fun little toy that EarthGov cooked up and wanted to keep secret.
She closes the footage. Obviously, they didn't do a good enough job.
No. Nor did they send enough people for what that thing was.
She looks at you. I don't think you could send enough people, Ash. I think you're overestimating individuals' abilities to engage something like that.
If
Highly overestimating.
If you or Hunk were here, he wouldn't have ever made it to it.
She shrugs. I don't know about that. This Tewaz guy seems like a tough customer.
Maybe. Gods. I just don't know what else we could have done.
She sits down in a chair, takes her mask off, pulls out a little box, and don't tell Hunk about this, and lights a cigarette. Your mother-in-law, future mother-in-law, and she winks at you. It's good taste, that.
She does. I ain't gonna tell him shit. Try and sit up. Alright. Any word on anyone else? Any other survivors?
Negative. Just the Marines plus the three of you. She looks at you. I think you did the best you could with what you had. You survived. That's all that matters.
You're probably right. It doesn't make it any easier with, the what-ifs playing in the back of your head doesn't make him go away.
She blows out some smoke up into the air. Understandable, but you need to forget about him.
That's twice that fucker's done this.
Puts out her cigarette, or ashes her cigarette, takes some ash off the cigarette in an ashtray. Well, third time should be a charm then. Next time, make sure he dies.
Oh, he's gonna get his.
He is.
I hope I'm there to help. And she looks over into the room where Pequod's being worked on by the doctor. He comes out and takes his gloves off. Thank you, Captain. She looks up at him. You're welcome. Thank you. How is she doing? He looks at Julius, looks at her. She'll be fine. She needs rest, but she'll be fine. She'll be awake by the time he looks at his wrist computer. We hit Earth sphere space. She should be awake. And the burgers are in there waiting for her. If that'll be all, and Icy dismissed. Thank you. And he walks off.
Thank you.
He turns around and acknowledges your thank.
Captain, eh?
She looks up at you. Yeah, it's kind of a temporary rank from my understanding. Hunk's getting ready to retire, so,
Hunk retiring. That's something that just sounds wrong, isn't it?
She crosses her arms. The whole Lazuli thing, being married to her, I think it kind of pushed him in that direction.
I suppose.
So you're gonna take over the family business?
She looks at Julius. Indeed, I am. Walks up to him, snaps her finger. Look at this. Cherry soda. Grabs your mouth and starts pouring some soda down your mouth.
He's not strong enough to stop her.
As she squeezes the can and breaks it and throws it in the trash can, pats you on the shoulder, and pulls out a bottle of water. Keep drinking and eating.
Send me into damn shock over here.
You've survived worse.
Yeah, we survived Lazuli. If it's anything I say, you'll make a fine captain.
She looks up at you. I hope so. Well, we'll see in time. Not particularly fond of being a captain, but she shrugged. Whatever.
Whatever makes the money, right?
She looks at you. Not really. I'd prefer to be a solo op myself.
In my experience, those who don't want to lead are typically the best at it.
She kind of cocks her head. Maybe. I tried to get you guys on my squad. She steps back and sits back down. But the council wants you for that squad Sigma, no matter what I say, or do, or plead, or beg.
Here's what it is. Maybe someday we'll be able to weasel our way out of it.
She smirks. She takes her mask off and smirks. Oh, definitely. I met your future leader.
What did you think of him?
She leans back and crosses her arms. You have fun with that.
Oh god.
It's about what you would expect from a wizard.
She gestures to Julius. A dog? Really?
Hey. Hey. Yeah, say what you will. I don't care. You need
I mean,
to
a
listen.
dog? Of all things, it's a great dog. I saw it last week, but, why?
He stops drinking his water, looks down at it. Hey, something's weird about this water. Come here.
She walks over. What?
Puts it right under her face and squeezes the bottle so the water shoots up at her.
It hits her in the face. She wipes it off of her face. Very funny, lover boy. I was going to compliment you on having the guts to drop a dog on Lazuli. Now I'm not going to. And she sits back down.
Aw. A compliment from you, career girl? What can I say? That's awesome.
You can tell he's in a foul mood.
She looks over at Pequod. I would be too.
Well, I was right. They came, and we're all gonna make it.
She's staring at Pequod in the bed. You want to go see her?
Yeah.
Come on, lover boy. And she helps you up. And you're that weak, she has to walk you in to Pequod. She comes back out. Suppose you won't accept help, and she puts out her hand.
Just this once, and he's gonna let her help him up.
As she takes your hand, part of being on a team is accepting help. You should learn that before you go off to the council, yeah?
Aye.
She takes you in, walks over to Pequod. What the hell? Pulls out a little tablet, breaks it, and sticks it under her nose, and she and wakes up. And she immediately looks down to the right and sees the bag of burger. Then looks up at Julius. And weakly says, Julius.
Hey, sweetie. Yes, he takes the bag of burgers and a water bottle and hands it to her.
She's reaching out to Julius. She doesn't want the burger. She wants Julius.
He's gonna sit down next to her.
Well, Icy moves over here. Here, she punches some things on the computer and this side of the bed extends. And she helps Julius into the bed with her. There you go.
Thank you, sister.
Pequod smells the burgers and rolls over weakly onto Julius. Icy, oh boy.
Hey, little sister.
He looks up at you at, what was that thing?
Don't worry about it now.
It
alright.
survived multiple attacks from a Hydra Gatling laser.
Something EarthGov was working on in secret, some prototype. It doesn't matter right now. What matters is you're alright.
Icy gestures, it's not a secret anymore, at least to somebody.
Aye. Feeling okay?
He rolls over onto Julius completely now. I feel like shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Icy's reading her chart, internal bleeding, hemorrhaging. You are lucky to have survived.
Yeah, let's not read the chart out loud, okay?
She keeps reading it to herself. She's not reading it aloud, just to herself. I guess I shouldn't expect any less coming from General Rico's daughter, and sets the chart down.
My thoughts exactly.
Julius rubs his face. Ah, shit, he's gonna hear about this.
Icy looks over. He already has! She shrugs. Why do you think the 5th Fleet, the entirety of the 5th Fleet, was looking for you guys?
Cool. Awesome. Thank God for Rico.
He's gonna hear that you, despite the odds, managed to save his daughter's life. I'd say that is a pretty good thing to hear.
She shrugs. Just doing my job. Anyway, I'll give you guys some privacy. We should be back in Earth space pretty soon. And she walks to the bridge.
Julius shrugs.
Don't do
He's
that.
probably gonna focus on me not being able to help her in the first place.
If he's gonna put that on you against what we were up against, then fuck him.
Yeah, maybe.
And I'm going to repeat that. I couldn't have gotten her out of there quickly enough on my own. She's here because of you.
Julius nods. Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
That's good. You're gonna rub the side of Pequod's head. You're alright.
She looks at you. I've had worse. And passes out on Julius's chest without eating anything for one of the first times ever.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Ash is gonna kind of. I'm assuming he's in a chair.
Yep.
He's just gonna settle in and just watch him.
You fall out. You fall asleep, back and forth in and out of consciousness. Some time passes. You all wake up to the trauma surgeon, giving Pequod one look over. One more look over. With Icy in the background, watching with arms crossed.
I didn't get a chance with everything. What's your name, man?
He looks down at you. Yeah, I guess we didn't get a chance. That's... Go figure. Richter puts out his hand.
Richter, Ash, pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. Glad I was there.
I am too. I'm in your debt.
Nah, don't worry about it. Just doing my job.
You did a hell of a lot more than that.
Well, to be honest with you, looks down at you. I didn't think she was gonna make it. I'm glad she did. Even more so now that I know who she is. And he kind of shivers in place.
She's a tough little thing.
Definitely.
She's got her dad in her, I'd say.
Oh, I'd say so. I think anybody else wouldn't be here.
Victor is a badass name, man.
He looks down at you. It's Richard, actually, but Richter. Nickname. Marines give nicknames. Don't call me Richard.
Oh, I won't.
He looks her over one more time. He's scanning her. She's gonna be fine. Couple weeks, she'll be right as rain, good as new.
If we're ever on Gateway at the same time, I'm buying you some drinks.
He looks down at you. I'll hold you to that.
You damn well better.
Well, speaking of Gateway, looks back at Icy and she nods. We're docked at Gateway. We have to report back to Marine Command. Good luck, guys. And take care of this one. And he pats Pequod's leg and walks up.
Will do, and thank you again, Richter.
He waves as he leaves, and Icy looks at you guys. Ready to go back to Raven Rock?
Ready as we can be.
She walks over, helps you up, Ash. You better present yourself well. Commander Integra's preparing to kill you, apparently.
I assumed so. He's gonna... Probably should walk in on my own.
Icy, I'll help you in. You'll be fine. She pats you on the chest. Pequod, on the other hand, we'll need to get a stretcher, I think.
You gonna be okay to walk, Julius?
Yeah.
Good. Gods. We're alive, that's what matters.
Ship goes down to Earth space before you leave the ship. Icy turns to you. Just one question. Whose idea was it to have gods of this moment on the puppy's hood?
Take a wild guess.
Julius raises his hand.
She chuckles, puts her mask on. Alright. Puts Ash's shoulder over her arm, or her shoulder, Ash's arm over her shoulder. Let's go.
Let's go.
As you're leaving the ship, for one of the first times ever, Commander Integra is not waiting for you. Is not waiting for you in the office. She's right here with you. We're to Pequod number 2 there. She's right here with you. The guards come, present a stretcher, put her on it, and they look her over. Commander Integra intently looking Pequod over. Rico will kill me! This poor thing! She strokes her cheek.
She'll be alright, ma'am.
She looks up at Ash. Ash, oh my god! Oh! Pushes this guy out of the way. Hugs Ash. God, what the fuck?
He's gonna hug her back. Good to see you too, ma'am.
Icy goes over to help Julius now that she's hugging Ash. To the med bay! Now! And everybody goes to the med.
On their way there, Julie's gonna whisper to Icy, "That wasn't nearly as explosive as I thought it was."
Icy whispers back, she actually hugged him. What the fuck? The guards take Pequod in. You guys all go in together. And here you reside. Pequod in the med bay. Dr. Contry looking her over. Well, whoever did work on her did an excellent job. She'll be okay. She needs rest.
Marine.
And perhaps a puppy dog could help. And she looks over at Commander Integra and she, do as you will. Get the dog. I don't care. And she's still hugging Ash.
Thank you, ma'am.
You idiot! She punches you in the side of the head.
Fair?
Don't scare me like that. And Icy, well, I guess I'll go get the dog. And snaps her fingers and disappears.
Apologies, ma'am. Well, for the first time, I gotta tell you about how badly we did on a mission.
You didn't do badly, Ash. She's looking you right in the eyes. You came back. I knew something wasn't right.
I made a promise, right?
She's staring at you. What happened?
We got underway, had our debriefing with Shaw. After about, I'd say, 8 to 10 hours, a group of insurgents, mercenaries, I don't know what the fuck they were, no markings, don't know if they were Max Tech, UI, or what they were, boarded the ship through the water. They killed many of the Marines. Amongst them was Tewas. They planted a bomb on the ship. We managed to fight down there and try to stop him from getting the weapon, which was this monstrosity, and pulls up the weapon. He managed to get the codes from Shaw before killing her. He then brought us up to the ship's bow, was gonna kill us, and then, despite me telling her if it came to it to leave, Pequod, because she doesn't listen to me, ended up saving our lives, nearly at the cost of hers. It no-sold the weapons on that thing, ma'am.
She's watching your combat footage back. I knew something wasn't right. As Icy appears back in the room and sets the dog on Pequod's chest, she wakes up with a big smile on her face.
I don't know, ma'am. There's nothing we could have done.
There's nothing you could have done, but you made it back. And that is all that mattered.
They got away with whatever that is.
And in due time, they'll get theirs. And I hope, she looks at you, Ash, you'll be there when that day comes. And she looks over at Juliet.
One way or another, I'm getting my piece of that fucker. And this is, at this point, because Commander Integra and him haven't had this kind of thing, this is the first time she really sees that kind of fire in Ash's eyes.
She recognizes it for sure.
He wants to play like that, fine.
Tewas. You'll be going, whether Pequod likes it or not, you'll be joining the Arcane Council soon. When you go to Gateway, you should speak with Gondor.
I plan to.
If there's anyone that knows anything about that man, it's probably him. Being that he raised him, albeit perhaps not well. She shows you a document. It would appear your Tewaz friend has been banned from EarthGov space and the Bounty Hunters Guild.
I wonder why.
Yes, I wonder. Pequod wakes up, calls for Julius. Commander Integra looking at the dog and scoffs. Oh, the dog.
Not a fan, I'd say.
I'm more of a cat person.
Fair enough. I like both.
Icy brings the burgers and soft drink for Pequod, and she finally starts eating. And Dr. Contri, see? She's fine. Wow. I've never seen somebody eat a burger that quickly. She eats another one, and another one. And Dr. Contri, you might want to drink something so you don't choke. And she's letting the dog have a little bit of the In-N-Out burgers as well.
Good to see she's getting back to her old self, man.
Commander Integra looks at her, looks at Dr. Contri. How long do you think before she's fit for duty? Dr. Contri, no piloting for at least 3 weeks. And Commander Integra, duly noted.
It's a shame that the old Verdi's gone, but did its job.
Commander Integra strokes her chin. Yes. I think if it hadn't been upgraded with arms and armaments, Pequod might not be here. Still, lucky she survived.
Agreed.
Icy walks over to Commander Integra. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like to make a report back to HICOM on the situation. I'm sure you have some choice words you'd like to say to them as well. Commander Integra, yes. Yes, indeed. Let us go together.
One thing before you go. I'd like to recommend the highest of praise for a combat surgeon named Richter.
Richter. And Icy, his name was Richard.
Richard, I'll call him what he has to be called.
Right. Richard, from the Marine detail guarding the ship.
Yes.
It will be done. Let's go, Nicole. And she lights a cigarette. When did you start smoking? How dare you, as they walk off together. These are horrible for you.
Well, I'm assuming he's still standing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing there's like a bed here.
Yes.
Soon as she's out of earshot, he's just gonna slump onto the bed, half on it, half off. Yeah.
Ash? She comes over and helps you on the bed.
Thank you, Doctor. An angel as always.
Here, Ash, you need some nutrients. We're gonna put an IV in you.
If that's what you prefer.
No training with Leslie for the next week.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine to do that. Within a few
A
days.
week? No, a week. That's 7 days. 1, 2, 3. She keeps counting them off.
Very well, Doctor. I'll listen to you just this once. He's gonna smirk at her.
Pequod reaches out to Julius, squeezes his hand.
Well, I'd say
Squeezes it back.
he's gonna look at Pequod. I'd say he's quite the good luck charm, eh, Pequod?
He smiles up at him. He saved me.
He did. Your guardian angel.
She can't get up to give you a kiss. She's struggling.
I assume he's leaning against the wall. He bends over and gives her a kiss.
She is not letting go. The longest kiss you've ever had outside of sexual relations. And Lieutenant Maine walks in. I heard a dog because the dog is yelping. Oh, look at this dog! He comes over and takes it from Pequod. And because she's kissing, she doesn't even know.
Hey, Lieutenant.
Hey, look at this dog! Whose dog is this?
This.
This is a pretty dog.
He
What's
is
his name?
Rocco.
That's a good name for a dog. Never seen a red husky before.
Neither had I. He's a good boy.
He sure is.
So how have things been over here since we've been gone?
Oh, pretty quiet. Pretty boring. Glad to see you back. Dr. Contri has the IV drip in you. She points at Julius and points to the bed next to Pequod. Get in.
Julius puts up a finger as he's still kissing her and then pulls away. Okay. And lays down.
puts you down, gives you the IV drip. Oh, we'll just keep you here, actually. Gives you the IV drip, all that. Lieutenant Maine, who's a good dog? Who's a good dog? It's yelping, and I'm gonna take this thing for a walk. And he takes, and he just walks it around the base. You hear Commander Integra come over the intercom. If that dog defecates in my base,
Oh, gotta love him.
Dr. Contry walks to the door, pushes Ash's bed closer. You're staying in here all week, and if you leave, you'll have to deal with Commander Integra. Yes?
That's fine.
As she's saying that, Rob comes busting into the room. Ash! Gives Ash a big hug. And Dr. Contry, and this is where I take my leave. I'll see you guys in a few hours. And she walks.
Hey, Rob. Good to see you, brother.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you, Ash. I was so worried.
We're right as rain.
Very good. Looks over at Pequod. Oh, I'm just glad you're back.
Glad to be back.
You let me know if you need anything. We got some new MREs. Pizza MRE.
Well, that sounds pretty good. I'll let you know. Thank you.
It won't be as good as Lazli's private bunker food, but beats eating the crap we used to have. And he waves at Pequod and Julius. No sexual relations in the medbay. Pequod starts laughing, and this isn't a joke. And he walks out of the room.
If you need, I can keep watch.
You need to shut up, Ash, as he lays his head on Pequod's shoulder.
So, a week passes. You guys are good to go. Pequod takes a couple more weeks. So, you're pretty much out of action for 3 weeks. Exactly, on the calendar. Things have, for the most part, returned to normal for you guys. And Pequod, though she's still, a little weak. Moving around. Still struggling to get around. But things have returned to normal, and the dog has been allowed to stay at the base while she's recovering. Macy's no longer here.
Happy to see you looking so much better, little one.
Commander Integra comes to the office. She comes to your barracks. She's on her wrist computer. You hear her coming down the hall. And she's, well, it's not my fault that I didn't call you. And she opens the door. Would you get your asses over to Lazli's bunker? She's appalled that you haven't reached out to her.
Yes, ma'am.
Apparently she tried to come here to see you, but they wouldn't let her in the medbay out of fear she would see something. And she looks at me, what? Sexual relations, and she walks off.
Don't know why they'd be worried about that, but whatever. Alright, let's go. You fit to fly?
She looks at you holding the dog. Absolutely.
Good. Take it slow. Don't want to see you get hurt.
She gets in. It's like her old vertibird. All the arms and armorants are gone. She flies you over to the bunker. And you're in the bunker. And Doggo is with you, of course. Pequod sets Doggo down and he bounds Rocco. He bounds over into this room here.
Make his way over to them. I'm assuming our ACs are back to normal.
Yes, Hunk is sleeping on the couch. Blaze is playing solitaire on the table.
Well, good to see everyone's having fun.
Blaze looks up at you. Ah, young sire. Shh. The captain is sleeping. And he points over to Hunk.
Right. Where's Lazuli at?
In the TV room. Watching television. Follow the dog.
Alright. Good to see you. And then move back in.
I'm happy to see you all in one piece. You go in if you want. Dog's with Icy, she's holding it. Pequod comes in. Leslie stands up. You've got some goddamn nerve! She screams and Hunk and falls off the couch.
Sorry, Lazuli.
I'll have you know I tried to come see you myself. Do you know what a wrist computer is, Ash? You could have at least given me a call. Pequod kind of sinks into the floor.
I'm sorry, Lazuli.
I tried to come in. They wouldn't let me in. Said you might be banging in the med bay.
We didn't, by the way.
You better not have. She sits back down on the couch. Icy pats the middle of the couch and gestures to
Okay. He's gonna sit down. I'm sorry, ma'am. I got so distracted with everything. It didn't cross my mind. I apologize.
Next time I'll break that Rob's neck.
I'd rather it be mine than his, ma'am. He's trying his best.
Is Julius here? Hunk comes into the room, gives Julius a big hug.
Hey, Dad.
Oh, I'm so glad to see you. I tried to get in to see you guys too, but they said you know how it goes, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Apparently, any room the two of you guys are in is off limits.
Jesus. We're not that bad. As Julius picks Pequod up and walks over to the chair.
to be fair, you were for a while.
The couch is, we'll just say the couch is big enough. Well, unless you want to be back here, that would be cool. Yeah, there you go. Hunk comes over. Can I get you anything to eat or drink?
No, thank you.
Good.
Pequod says, green apple jello, please. Hunk, oh, I know how to make jello. There's always room for jello. And walks out and you hear him, Blaze, how do you make jello? And Blaze sighs and begins making jello.
Well, we're here. Thanks to Icy.
Lasley, yes, I've heard. You're lucky she was in the area. Icy hands the dog to Ash. Lasley looks at it, and I can't believe this hoodie says gods of this moment.
Aye. Well, we are lucky.
Lasley looks at the dog. Give him to me.
He does.
She takes him, sits right down in her lap, and plops himself down and relaxes. Saris isn't here, I'm sorry to say, Ash. Now, in the interlude, Saris has come to see you in the past 3 weeks at the base,
Yeah.
for sure. But she's not here right now.
It's alright. I'm sure I'll get to see her sooner rather than later.
You two, she looks back at Julius, aren't the only ones that impress High Cobb. Saris is off on a mission. The Ranger General has taken quite a liking to her. She's off on a mission with your buddy Sasha. Pequod perks up when she hears Sasha's name sitting on Julius's lap.
Good for her. She should. The Ranger General better be taking notice because she's special.
Lasley looks at you. Good for her. Bad for the UIR insurgents they're going after.
Hopefully theirs goes better than ours.
Oh, I think it will. I think it will. Have you heard about your friend, Tewaz,
Banished?
from EarthGov Space? I've talked to Gondar. I don't have a great relationship with him. I wasn't on Gateway a long time, but I've talked to him in the interim. Apparently, Tewaz was at one time a decent person. Maybe.
I doubt that.
You should see Gondar. Have you ever seen Gondar?
No.
Picture of him? Well, he wears a bandana. You know why he wears it?
Why?
He has a huge scar down the side of his face, and chin, and mouth, and nose. From Taylor. She picks up the dog and starts scratching its stomach. He is a tough customer.
He is. Just wish some of you were there. We might have been able to take him.
She looks down at the dog. You'll have your chance.
I think so.
I think so. It's a no-so at this point.
He's something else.
Icy kind of looks at you. Kind of a monster, I think.
That's an understatement.
Icy. And Leslie, take him, fine, and hands the dog back to her.
Well, it was something else. The way he moved, it wasn't normal.
What do you mean, not normal? I haven't reviewed I've seen what I need to see. And she's referencing seeing Pequod's vertebrate blowing up. I don't want to see anymore.
It's not about any killing, it's something else. He how do I put it? When he moved, he left something like after images, but not behind. A trail.
Some type of max tech.
Would he have been able to tell if it was tech or?
It was magic. Yeah, you could tell.
No. It was magic, like a blur spell, but it didn't feel like that. It felt off, wrong.
Gondar mentioned he has no magic abilities. Unless he's gained some in, I guess, his time since you've last seen him. Or maybe he had them back then, who knows?
He's gonna. May I show you? You might recognize it. You know more than I do.
Sure.
He's gonna pull up the footage and show both of them.
As you're pulling up the footage, Hunk comes in. Always room for Jello. Hands Pequod a bowl of Jello. I made this specially for you, daughter-in-law. And she laughs and takes it from him. And for you, Julius, even though you said no, I made this. It's cherry Jello.
Thank you.
Do you need me to help you eat it?
No, God, no.
I can spoon feed you. Leslie.
Actually, Hunk, you wanna come look at this too? You've seen a lot. You might recognize something. And he's gonna show the three of them.
He stands over the couch looking at the foot. And he, Leslie, I don't know what that is. An icy purple guy. And Hunk, yeah. That purple guy. All those years ago.
Purple guy?
Do you remember when the first mission we ever went on together?
Yeah, with that shrieking robot.
Pequod, the one I wasn't allowed to come to. And Hunk, it wasn't my decision. Anyway, that purple guy, yeah. The guy with the beam sword. He did stuff like this. Albeit he was somewhat of a pushover. I had him on the ropes and he made some type of portal and ran away.
So...
This guy does not look like a pushover. Look at his form. He's quite brutal.
No, he's that good. They had him classified at the top level of danger for non-magic users in his dossier.
For normal combatants, hyper lethal vector, that's sounds like that guy would give me a run for my money.
I think so. I think you could take him, and I know the Major could. But he's scary.
Leslie perks up. If I ever get the chance, I'll make it quick.
Don't.
Make him suffer.
She looks back at Juliet. Duly noted. Hunk looks around the room. Well, since Pequod's birthday is like 3 weeks late, I have an idea. And Leslie looks up at him. And we should go to the beach. And Leslie, no. We should go to the beach for Pequod. No, we can just watch movies here. We're going to the beach. Come on! And he runs out of the room. And Leslie, I'm not going to the beach. And Pequod, oh, it's my birthday celebration. She gets off Julius with her Jello. Please, I don't do beaches.
Come on, you can just sit on the sand with me and Hunk. It shouldn't be too bad, ma'am.
Pequod, please. And she looks at Pequod and, fine, we'll go to the beach. Patricia, go get some bathing suits or whatever girls wear to the beach. And Icy takes her and the dog and they go pick some out.
Should be fun. A nice break, right?
Leslie stands up, picks up the dog. I guess this thing has to come too.
Love you, Leslie.
I'm glad you two are back. You did well.
Well, as we could have.
Don't feel bad about it, Ash. She pats your shoulder. Everyone's back in one piece, and that's all that matters.
I just wish we'd had more that we could have done. Someone like that, with a weapon like that.
He'll get his day in the sun, Ash.
That's what I'm worried about.
You'll be there to stop him. And if you don't, I will.
I think I've always got I've got a secret weapon to fall back on.
She winks and alright. Go get some swim trunks. I hate the beach, and walks out with the dog. You can tell she loves the dog. She's trying to hide the fact she likes it.
She's almost as bad at hiding that she likes the dog as she is about liking me.
That's true.
Alright, kiddo.
Same room. Go pick out some swim trunks.
Ash is gonna pick out a blue pair of swim trunks and look for a blue swim shirt.
You hear Lasley and Hunk arguing. If we're going to the beach, I'm not going to a public beach. Oh, come on. There'll be lifeguards and other people. We're going to a private beach. Well, fine. I mean, whatever. Fine. We should get a cake. Blaze should make a cake. We can have cake on the beach and get sand in it. I hate the beach, Hunk. And Blaze, I will, remain here and enjoy the peace and quiet. I don't want to go. And goes back to playing solitaire.
Get the clothing, put it over his arm, and head out there.
You have your clothing on. Pequod's, she's got scars on her body now. She presents herself to Julius in her red bikini. And she looks at her scarred up body. And Leslie's watching her look at it. And Pequod apologizes. She looks right at Julius and says, I'm sorry, I'm like this now, and I've ruined myself, and she's big ass scars. And Hunk, awkward moment, see ya, and runs to the And Leslie, yes, awkward, come dog. Dress.
Julius looks down at his hoodie and swim shirt he was gonna wear with swim trunks and a wetsuit pants that he was gonna wear. And hold on, I'll be right back. And he goes back into the room, comes back out with only the swim trunks on, all of his room completely on display. Now we're just more alike.
Pequod gives you a big hug, two of a kind.
Welcome to the club.
Icy watches you guys hug. Oh, yeah, that's right. And Pequod, yeah. And Icy, I almost forgot.
Really?
She pulls out a bandana, a headband, and she's holding it in her hand.
Now what's that?
Well, it's something for you. Consider it your gift, Ash, for joining the Arcane Council. A little early, perhaps, but I might not get a chance to see you once you join.
Let's take a look at it. Thank you.
Inspect it, and there is a well-worn insignia of what looks like a fox, and you can't make any lettering out on it. It's old. You are old. It's old. And as you're looking it over, she says, I figured you'd have an affinity for it. It's from, I think, the 21st century.
I do. I like it. Reminds me of
This is
home,
what it does.
you know.
That's what it does for you.
Okay.
It's from some, if you know what the U.S. government used to be, it's from some organization they had called, I think, the Null Unit. We'd have to do research on it. Not worth doing. But they were like a stealth unit, something like that.
Okay.
It has to be worn, Ash, and she points to your forehead as a headband.
Alright. He's gonna put it on.
And as for you, he walks over to Pequod and Julius, as per your request. She takes Pequod's bandana, or scarf, and you see it start to glow when she's holding it. And then she looks up at Julius. May I? She's much shorter than you, so you'd have to bend over so she could grab it.
Yeah, sure. As he bends over.
She takes it, and it starts to glow. Faint glowing gold. Your right damage gains an extra d4 from it. And then she looks over at Ash. Ash, unload your pistol.
He unloads the pistols.
Point it at Pequod's chest.
Does.
And you see Julius and Pequod's bandanas scarves, start to glow. And I see, it does pay to study. Anytime one of you is in danger, they'll glow. And Pequod, thank you, and gives her a big hug.
Good. That's good. Well, things are looking up, right? And I don't feel bad about the scars, kid. And he's gonna lift his shirt up a bit. It's just 3 of a kind.
Pequod nods, looks at you. Well, the beach. I can't wait! And she tries to run and she stumbles. Icy tries to catch her but misses.
Julius catches her arm and holds her like a princess. Alright. And as he's walking by Icy, he ruffles her hair. You're not that bad anymore, kid.
She winks at you, and alright, beach time. Let's go. Grabs Pequod's hand, because Julius is holding her, and grabs Ash's hand. I don't like walking anywhere. Studying does pay off, and she snaps her fingers, and you teleport to the ship. Hunk is poorly piloting the ship, mind you. Leslie's ship. And there are Leslie and Hunk with the dog. Like mom and dad up front are arguing up front. And it only takes like less than 15 minutes. You're somewhere in Argentina on a private beach. And boom. Here you find yourself.
Alright. Well, I've never been to the beach, so I don't know what we do.
Pequod looks up at you in her little red bikini. She says, we go down to the sand, and we sit, and we be lazy fucks. And grabs you, and starts leading you down to the beach.
Nice. I like being lazy.
Leslie walks up here on the pier and looks around. Great. Just great. Now we get to lay in the sand. Hunk walks up behind her. Oh, it's not true. We get towels and umbrellas. And Leslie turns around. All things we forgot to bring, Hunk. And Hunk, oh. Well, that's no problem. Ash will go shopping for some. Go ahead, Ash. And just goes down to the beach. Leslie standing with her arms crossed in the sand. And Hunk awkwardly standing with Julius and Pipsqueak and or Pequod. And Icy, yeah. I guess we gotta go buy.
We do.
Lead the way.
Let's go. He's gonna look around at the different people, look for one that looks like a shop.
Pequod sits down in the sand and drags Julius down with her. And Hunk, we could build a sand castle. And he starts getting sick.
Sorry, just making sure I have this thing right.
Leslie crosses her arms and walks to the ocean. This is ridiculous. They're not 5, Hunk. And Hunk, oh, Julius will love building sand. Pequod starts helping.
Sandcastle.
Okay, that seems to have fixed it.
You walk up to this guy with Icy. She's wearing a silver 2-piece bikini. She's taken off her clothing that was covering it. And you walk up to this one, or who do you want to go? Me?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Someone yelled my name. It's fine. Looking around for a shop, I guess.
Pick who you want to go?
Walk up here first. Good day.
Icy follows you and right behind you. It's a woman, looks like an elf woman. Hello, sir.
Would you happen to sell towels or umbrellas and things like that?
Oh, I have fresh produce.
That'll work. Looks around. I guess grabs just some fruit. Strawberries, that kind of thing if they have them.
Icy grabs a bunch of bananas. The lady's trying to count everything Icy's grabbing. I need to count those, and Icy just throws a couple 100 credits on the desk. I'm taking the... And the lady, oh, thank you!
How much for these? And he's gonna have his little pile of stuff.
She counts them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50 credit!
He's gonna pay her.
Icy opens one of the bananas, ripe green banana, and starts eating it. If you're looking for beach accessories, yes.
Yes.
Try over there.
Thank you. He's gonna make his way down.
Icy follows you, eating bananas. As you guys are walking together, you see Hunk building it just looks like a mound of sand. He's trying to teach Julius how to build a sandcastle, while Pequod is building one just with her hands alone that looks pretty nice.
Gotta love the three of them.
Hunk points down to, now you see, Julius, this is sand. Do you know what that is?
Alright, Hunk, I've never been to the beach before, but I know what sand is.
Now you see, Julius, if you get it wet, you can mold it. Watch this. And he makes another mound, and this is a sandcastle. And Pequod looks over at him blankly.
There. He pinches the bridge of his nose as he looks out to the horizon. Very good, Dad.
Now, if you build 4 of these, you can build a wall, and he's trying, but his mounds are failing. As Pequod moves back, and she's building an even better one, and he looks at her and, show off. And she laughs. I gotta get Rocco on the board, too. Go ahead, Nick. You want to buy some?
Good day.
It's a Joe Rogan, whatever they're called. I forget.
Yeah.
Mycodon. And he's got an umbrella, and he's sitting out in the sun. Hello, sir!
We're looking to buy some towels and umbrellas, sir.
He looks up at you. Take your pick. Stands up, puts his arm out behind him. Tons of towels, tons of umbrellas. Some fancy, some not fancy.
He's gonna try and pick one of each that fits each person's color scheme, I guess.
There you go.
Looks good. How much do I owe you?
Icy says, don't forget an umbrella, Ash. Just one umbrella for Leslie, I think.
Right. And he'll pick out an umbrella.
Gotta get Rocco on the board. He's hidden. There he is. Had to move him down. Rocco is with Pequod as well. He looks up at you, Ash. 200 credits, please, sir.
Here you go. Pays him.
He takes it from you. Have a wonderful day at the beach, sir.
You have a wonderful day as well. Thank you. He's just gonna take a look at that stand and what's being sold there.
Tons and tons of hot food. Cakes, drinks. You could smell it as you walked by.
You think we should get a cake?
AC looks up at you. Definitely water. A cake for Pequod probably would be a good idea.
Right. Alright. How are you doing today, sir?
Very good, young man. Very good.
Good. I couldn't help but see you have some beautiful cakes for sale. How much for one of them?
What's the occasion?
A birthday.
A birthday. How much for one? Have this. He goes back. He gets what's called a ricotta pie. Have this on the house for a birthday.
Oh, thank you very much, good sir.
AC hands him a banana. Thank you.
Now we just need to get water.
I have water here if you need.
Gladly.
Cold, fresh water. How much? In fact, here, how about a jug of it and some plastic cup?
Thank you. How much do I owe you?
This will be 80 credits.
Welcome, and he'll pay that.
And Ash has all this shit in his arm.
Yeah.
Icy takes the cake. Are you okay, Ash? Can you manage all this?
Oh, I'm fine. Barely
Okay.
keeping it together.
Let's go down to the beach.
Let's go. Walking way down. I come with gifts.
Leslie points in the... Set my umbrella up right there.
Sets everything down, sets her umbrella up, puts her...
Not
towel
you,
up.
Ash.
Oh,
You. And she points over at Hunk and he... Right. Yes, darling. And begins doing it.
Well, he's gonna walk and hand each person their towel.
Hunk setting up the umbrella, the towel. Leslie sits down on it. I hate the beach. And Hunk, I love the beach. Icy sits down next to her and starts eating banana.
Julius, now that he has actual time to learn how to build a sandcastle, is learning how to build a sandcastle from Pequod.
She is teaching you with great intent as Rocco sits at the beach edge watching. I had to sneeze. Okay, so Hunk sets up all Leslie. She's sitting down, sneering, unhappy. Hunk sits back down. Come on, Ash, sit next to Uncle Hunk.
Sure. He sits down.
Can't beat something like this. Points out to the ocean, the view, the atmosphere, the weather. Quite the contrast from 3 weeks ago, I'd say.
And
I can't say that either. It's nice. He's gonna grab the cake from Icy. A gift, and he hands it to Pequod.
Pequod looks shocked, and Hunk, ricotta pie.
Thought
Oh.
can't have a birthday without a cake, right?
Now, Hunk is in his combat gear still, because he's Hunk, so he pulls out a couple spoons from his MRE pouch, and here we go. Oh, I love ricotta pie. He hands one to Pequod. The birthday girl should be the first one to take a bite. As Leslie, ha! Pequod takes the spoon and takes a big bite, and she starts passing the cake around.
This is a good day.
Hunk rubs the back of his neck. 3 weeks or so late on the birthday, but better late than never, I'd say. And Pequod moves right into Julius and says, "This is the best birthday I've ever had," as she grabs the dog and moves right next to Julius. The family unit.
Julius hugs her and pulls her close to him.
Hunk drapes a towel over Icy. "You're not showing off like this." And she just ignores him and takes the towel.
A moment one could wish could last forever.
Leslie starts laughing. She finally breaks her sneer and starts laughing. And Hunk, what's so funny about that? I don't even get it.
Gods of this moment.
Pequod starts laughing, Icy starts laughing, and Hunk, I've seen that somewhere before.
Yeah, the dog.
He looks over at the dog wearing the hoodie, and oh yeah, when I washed the dog's hoodie. Why is this on the back of the dog's hoodie?
Because I said it to Saris once and they think it's funny.
Oh. Gods if, how do you do that again? He looks at Julius.
Gods of this moment.
Hunk poorly tries to imitate that. Gods if this moment. Ugh.
Yes,
That's an interesting choice there.
Gods if this moment could last forever.
Yeah. Gods if this moment, Leslie kind of has to fight back.
I'm sure you felt that way about him at times, ma'am.
Icy kind of walks off to go do her own thing. She's just in the water, having a good time. Hunk, keep that towel around you at all times as she walked off. And Leslie, yes, in fact, I have. He is an idiot, though. And Hunk kind of...
It's a good
Love.
Hunk pats Julius on the shoulder. Enjoy days like today. You won't have them very soon when you join the Arcane Council. You'll be separated from Pequod, and the joy on her face has disappeared. And Leslie, shut up! And he...
Julius elbows him in the crotch.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm just saying the truth. And Leslie, stop talking.
Sometimes you probably should sugarcoat it.
Leslie looks at Pequod. Enjoy the day. Don't worry about it. It's all gonna work out somehow. I'm sure. Hunt kind of gets up and looks around, and he's at the beach. The water's and he look at. That's a seagull. Have you ever seen one before?
Yes, I have.
Where?
I was on a ship once.
Oh yeah, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that one. But the first time it was about 6 or 7 years ago. 5, 6 years ago, I think.
A Navy man through and through, huh?
You could say that. I think it was privately chartered, if memory serves. Big wooden ship.
Wooden ship.
wooden ship.
Pequod, here we go. She grabs Rocco.
Like I said.
We come from a weird place, remember?
Yeah, low-tech colony.
Oh. I would have never guessed. Pretty nifty with that hacking tool you got there.
I took to that rather quickly. It's not... Weirdly enough, it doesn't feel that uncommon from lockpicks. Not too different.
Oh. Do you remember the name of the colony you were on? Maybe we could go back someday.
He's gonna try and think. Would he remember any location names from there?
Hickson. Definitely.
I don't remember the name of the colony. I remember a small town on the outskirts called Hickson.
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 Oh.
A small town on the outskirts. It was mainly populated by centaurs.
Hunk. Centaurs. Leslie looks over at you. Centaurs?
Centaurs. Not normal ones. Oh my god, what were they called? I don't know. I don't remember the name. Instead of a horse, they had the body of a mule.
Leslie. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ash, how many drugs did you do before joining EarthGov?
None.
She looks over at Julius. Do you corroborate this?
It was not a good place to live.
Hunk, well, I'd like to meet them someday. We should go back.
No, you don't.
Oh,
You know what a hootenanny is, huh? Have you ever seen one of those?
Hootenanny. And Leslie, Hooten what?
Yeah, exactly. Keep it that way.
And Hunk, oh, fine, Hootenanny. Oh.
A party done and thrown by a bunch of hicks at night. Not fun.
Rocco catches a whiff and a sight of a crab and starts running after it. And he's barking at it. Leslie, God, and gets up and goes after it.
She can pretend she dislikes him all she wants. None of us believe it.
It's at this time you see down here. Hunk catches a sight out of the corner of his eyes of an awkward Icy, because though she has leadership capability, blah blah blah. There's a difference between being able to talk intimately with somebody and deal with it and process it, as opposed to leading people and stuff. So there's a young man who's shown interest in her, and you see her awkwardly trying to, well, they're more up here near the pier, awkwardly trying to back away from him, and he keeps advancing. And Hunk looks at Julius and looks at Leslie, looks back at Julius. Listen to me, Julius. I need you to go over there and break that up. You understand?
Yeah, I got you.
If I do it, she'll kill me. And she points back at Leslie. I'll keep her distracted.
Ash is already
Okay.
walking up at this point.
Ashley, stay.
Not a chance.
Yes, stay. I can act like her brother. And he points to the hair. You can't, Mr. Old Man. Bald head in the face. And he waves him off.
Alright. Just know that if he tries anything, I'm gonna shoot him.
That's fine.
He's gonna sit down right here and pull his pistol out and just set it on his lap.
So as you approach, you notice Icy has her hand behind her back. And she has snapped her finger, and she has one of her blaster pistols in the hand. And she's walking backwards, and she's, no, I don't want to come see your drink factory. I just want to enjoy the beach. And oh, come on, try my drink, sweetheart. You're a fine little firm thing. It's called Prime Energy. This is blueberry. He's like trying to hand it to her. And she's, no, I really don't want to. And you see her finger go on the trigger of the blaster pistol.
Hey, sis. Who's this?
She looks up at you. Oh, this is some creepy guy named Logan who wants me to try his energy drink and go back to his factory.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I try it?
He looks at you. Yeah, I guess you could try it. This is your sister?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
He hands you the drink. Well, I'd like to take your sister out if all things are. That's you can have the drink. Hands it to you, and he reaches for her shoulder.
He pushes Icy back and stands in front of her.
Oh no! Oh no! Okay. So he takes the drink back. Come on now, man.
No, not a chance.
You don't gotta do me like that. I'm a well-known star around EarthGov. I'm in the EarthGov Wrestling Federation, a superstar.
Uh-huh, yeah. I have not heard of it.
And he, well, if I gotta show you, I gotta show you some moves.
I mean, you can certainly try.
Strength check.
I'm tempted to limit break just so I have advantage.
You should
Alright, yeah, he's gonna do
should
it.
always act on your instincts. Okay, so he tried to wrestling, grapple you. What do you want to do to him? You can throw him over the pier into the ocean, whatever you can lasso him, whatever you want to do.
German.
So he tries to go in for like a shoulder tackle to bring him down to the ground, and Julius's arms just light up with flames, puts his hand on his head, picks him up, and just throws him over to right about there.
I gotta zoom out. Ping it again. He goes flying into the ocean. Icy looks up at you. Thank you. And she snaps her fingers and her blaster disappears from her hand. I didn't want to shoot that guy. Sort of.
Don't worry. I would have been fine if you did it.
Next time. She pats you on the shoulder. You come back and Leslie's got the dog sitting at her fucking umbrella and towel thing. And Hunk gives Julius a thumbs up. And Leslie, did you have fun, Julius?
Yeah.
Pequod looks at Icy. He was kind of cute.
Well, I see. Buzzy cute.
Icy, not for me. Not my style. I don't want a boyfriend right now. She sits down. And Hunk, good. You're not having one. And Pequod, having a boyfriend's great, Icy. You can do things like this. She looks up at Julius and screams. She's back to her old self. Julius, I want a soda!
Julius looks up, sighs. What flavor?
Any flavor, the biggest one they have.
God, I love you. And you
Leslie looks over before you walk away. You can do things like this. Hunk, I want an avocado juice. And he, right away. Come on, son. Go off.
Watches them walk off. I wish Cyrus could be here.
Leslie looks over at you. I do too.
You guys are the lucky ones. You get to see them every day, or almost every day.
Leslie, distance, she says, distance does tend to strengthen one's bond.
Does. God, anytime I'm with her, I don't want it to end.
Pequod looks up at you. If only the moment could last forever, yes.
If only. Speaking of which, I've got to make her ring.
Pequod looks down at her hands and her feet. I need to get my nails done. And Leslie, yeah, you do. They look horrendous. They're overgrown because you were a potato for 3 weeks in a hospital bed. Icy kind of looks at them both. And Leslie, I think there is a nail salon around here somewhere. And Pequod, yeah, let's go. And they go off. And they're having a good time. They, Icy, do you want to come? And she, no thanks. I'm fine with my nails the way they are. And they go off together as poor Julius and Hunk come back with the drink. Hunk, I got the ju- Where the fuck are they?
Nail salon.
God damn
What's
it.
that?
Like a barber, but for nails.
Oh. Well, I guess we could just put these drinks here, and and then Hunk's radio goes off. Hunk, bring the drink. Give me the damn soda, Julie.
God damn it! And as he hands the drink,
Actually, fuck this. I'm not going alone. He grabs Julius and makes him come. How are we gonna find this place as they walk off? And it's now just the two of you with the dog.
He's gonna pull the puppy onto his lap. Well, just as well. You doing alright?
What kind of ring are you gonna make?
Well, he's gonna pull up the file for it. I'm gonna make it out of silver. Gold just looks wrong on someone's fingers, I think.
Agreed.
Too gaudy. But, and he's gonna show her, it's going to be a silver ring, and it's going to have a filigree, I believe that's the word, of rose stems and thorns going up each side of it, leading to a central piece where it's going to have the two aquamarines on each side, and then the ruby and the sapphire in the middle.
She's looking at it. I do think something made is way more special than something bought.
I think so. It just
With
needs
the amount of time Ceres clutches that necklace you made her, this might kill her. In a good way.
maybe so. Although I'm running out of time.
You are running out of time.
Losing 3 weeks didn't help.
True. But I think Blaze has your back.
He does. He's good to us. Better than we deserve.
I'd say you have probably about 2 or 3 months left at the most. Things are heating up with your Squad Sigma. Most of the crew is already picked out. They're still trying to find a ship, and the squad members, for the most part, have been picked out. A cleric, Artis, I think his name was, a ranger named Denaria or Denaria. Some exoframes. Don't know much about them yet. They're classified. And then, of course, there's your Malcolm Wizard guy.
Okay. I've never fought alongside most of those specialties before. Only really a wizard that I have experience with.
The Malcolm guy seems interesting. She sits down on Leslie's towel. Have fun with that.
Interesting, good, or...
She looks over at you. Interesting as I think you'll wish you were on Alpha Niner in a couple weeks.
I think that would have been the same no matter who was leading it.
Either way, just do your best.
So your standard field artillery wizard?
Yeah, you could say that. And she starts drawing a line in the sand with her finger.
I fought alongside one before. They can be useful.
I don't know if you fought alongside one that's this good at running away.
Not a wizard, but a bard.
Then you should be used to it. I did some sparring with him. He ran the whole time.
Well, we can make use of that. If he's running away, then at least the enemies are distracted by him.
Or laughing at him.
I'll take that. Let them laugh and I'll put a bullet through their mouth.
Good enough. Icy nods, and we will wrap there for the week. As Julius and Huck try to find the nail salon.